Welcome to sunny Florida. Here we are in St. Petersburg, Florida, my hometown. Born and raised here and been here my whole life. I'm actually a true native of Florida. We get a lot of snowbirds that come down to this area because it's pretty much nonstop sunshine. We have beautiful beaches, and there's a lot of outdoor activities that a lot of people seem to like here, but this is where we call home. This record is a long time in the making. The very first band that I ever joined was called Blackwell, and it was with my lifelong dear friend who's an amazing musician, Craig Blackwell. He came over to the house when I was about 15 years old and heard me play some stuff on my drums and said, "You're in." That was the beginning of a lifelong friendship and my very first band. To fast forward 30 years later or more, we're finally able to put an album together that shows the musical maturity, still maintains the roots of where we come from. And really, this record was about songs that we just wanted to write. You know, we've been working with music together since our early to mid-teens, and it's just super easy to communicate with each other. We totally almost could finish each other's sentences. We've been working together so long. It's just an awesome dynamic that we have, and really stress-free. So this is kind of my private area where I get creative and record and all that good stuff. This is my awesome D-drum set. Special thanks to Mike Petrak and the entire D-drum family for taking such great care of me. And then I have another E-kit right here that is used for a lot of demos, you know, demoing songs. It just makes it really easy, especially when it's 2 o'clock in the morning and instead of banging loud cymbals, it's just super easy, and it's nice to sit down and kind of practice on something like that. And here is my guitar cymbal. This is a custom telly built by one of my best friends, Aaron Marley. This is a one-of-a-kind Jackson Strike fans out there, you might recognize this. This was Parker's guitar that was used in the Light Years video. My solo album is coming out on Rat Pack Records. It's an awesome label, and I have a really good relationship with them. Couldn't be more pleased. Everything is super efficient working with this label, so big shout out to everyone at Rat Pack Records, and thanks so much for believing in this album and being so passionate and thrilled to market and promote and support this record. So a lot of people have been asking who wrote what and played what on this record. We wrote the songs together, Craig and I. I did the drums and vocals, and he did all of the guitars and bass and the keyboards and synth sounds that you hear on various songs. We also self-produced the album. Zeus was brought into the fold to handle the mixing and the mastering, and he did a phenomenal job on this. The fidelity and the sonic qualities are top-notch, and we could not be more thrilled. So special thanks to Zeus for coming in and being a part of this and making this album sound so awesome. Now, we did have 2 guest musicians on the record. One of them is our friend Al Nunn, who contributed to the bonus track One by One. He added some great atmospheric sounds to that track. So a special thanks to Al for contributing to that. The second musician that we had is the amazing guitarist, Jordan Ziff. He played an awesome solo on the title track, Rejoice in the Suffering, where he and Craig do a back and forth thing. Many of you probably know him from Rat, and also he's been playing with Marty Friedman for many years now, and he is just Class A professional musician, among the upper echelon guitar players out there in the world. So thank you very much to Jordan Ziff for lending his amazing talent to that track on this album. All right, everybody, it's been fun hanging with you and giving you a little sneak peek behind the scenes of kind of what went into this record. I want to send a very special thank you to each and every one of you that have continued to show your support and valued interest. Go get the record February 5th. It's dark, it's heavy, it's melodic, and it's going to kick you in the teeth. You ready?
Born February 19th, Todd LaTorre is an American singer and badass drummer. He is the lead singer for progressive metal band Queensryche and a former lead vocalist of the band's Crimson Glory and Rising West. On April 28, 2014, he officially became a member of Queensryche when his bandmates Rockenfield, Wilton, and Jackson were given the exclusive rights to the Queensryche trademark. On February 5th, one of rock and metal's greatest current voices, Todd LaTorre.
You look so mean in that video. What's up, man? How are you?
Get off my lawn.
You're so angry. What are you screaming about? What's happening? Todd LaTorre in the house.
What's
Good
up,
to see you, my friend.
You too, man. Yeah.
We were just talking about Breaking Bad right before we got going. Todd is just now starting the going down the rabbit hole of Breaking Bad, which I don't know if you guys have seen that, but if you haven't, you should do it because it's one of the greatest TV shows ever made, ever. And did you watch Dexter? Please tell me you at least watched that, right?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh my God, dude. I'm gonna get you caught up on some cool shit.
Yeah, everyone was telling me about Breaking Bad, like I was telling you earlier.
That's a good start. That's a good start.
When we went to Albuquerque and Casey was like, I'm gonna take an Uber and go see the Breaking Bad house and the car wash. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Awesome.
And
I didn't even think about that when we played there.
And so yeah, dude, I'm binging and I've seen, like I say, I'm on season 4.
Right.
I don't know which episode, 2 or 3 maybe. I have to look. But I'll be up tonight watching a couple. When we hang up, I'll watch a couple episodes, and then yeah, it's an awesome show. I'm glad that I didn't watch it when it came out, because now I can just do a full marathon and I'm happy. I don't have to wait.
That's one of the best things about all that Netflix and all that stuff is exactly that.
Yeah.
In fact, when that last Star Wars show, I just waited until all the episodes were up. I was just like, I don't want to wait. I want to
Yeah.
watch all of them now at the same time.
That's how my wife and I were watching The Handmaid's Tale,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it's a really slow show. I mean, it's really good, but dude, I'm just so tired of waiting. I was like, fuck it, I don't even care if it comes back. But you know what I watched, which was awesome, was Peaky Blinders, if you've ever seen that.
Both of those shows are on my list of things that I'm trying to just like.
That's a really good one.
Okay, all right, that's good to know.
Yep.
Well, I'm just got as with everything, I've got a list of questions, and I'm sure your answers are going to be fabulous. So
Let me say hi to Amber and April.
yeah, say
They're
hi to
saying
everybody.
hi. April Arrangements and Amber Morton. So hi. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Todd's watching the chat this time, you guys. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Not
hey.
everybody does that. We've only had one other guest that did that. So awesome.
No, I like to see what people have to say.
What was the first instrument you played?
A skin flute. I was like 10.
Damn, that's a very young age to be messing with that. Was that because of Dad's Playboys and penthouses under the bed?
I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old. My mom got me a classical. I still have it.
Nice.
And then my dad bought me my first drum set when I was 13. My first, it's a Remo acoustic kit. I have it in cases up in the upstairs. But anyway, yeah, so guitar at 10 and then drums at 13, and I still played guitar, but like a rhythm player. I was never like always practicing scales and that's not
right.
me. I'm just a rhythm guy. Very slow melodic leads I can play, but so yeah, just always wanted to be a drummer. I wanted to make it in music as a drummer.
Okay.
That was kind of now I think I have a torn rotator cuff, so I'm actually glad I'm not
Really?
drumming.
Ew.
Yeah, I got to go see an orthopedic for that, like ASAP. But anyway, those were my two instruments. I always liked to sing, but I never sang for any band, until I joined Crimson Glory in 2010 as
You're
like
kidding me.
of a fluke. No,
That's
Queensryche's the second band I've ever sang in.
that's ridiculous. Well,
Yeah.
it could be worse, I guess. I guess you didn't have to do karaoke for very long or whatever.
Yeah, no, never did any of that.
I mean, how did you even know you had how did you know you could hit, because the notes in both of those bands are insane. So how do you realize that you even have that? So you didn't take vocal lessons or any of that kind of stuff?
No.
Wow.
I always had fairly good pitch. I had good vibrato in my teens, but I was singing a lot of like chest and throat and not learning how to bridge and how to,
Right.
so I could do like a really good Bruce Dickinson back then, but I was good for like a song. So it's
okay.
like, how do I, so I was, like Craig, that my buddy who did the solo record with me, he's the guy who actually taught me how to do like a metal scream. He could do them, and I'm like, how are you doing that? And he would tell me like, can you just quietly go like, ah, ah? I'm like, yeah. He's like, put more air behind it, and like, ah, ah, and then like higher pitch stuff, and then I would try it, and nothing connected, and then one day, like, it kind of happened, like the scream came out, and I was like, okay, how did I do that? And then I did it again, and I did it again, and dude, all I did were like screams of vibrato and like doing painkiller type stuff.
Yeah,
and
I mean
that's how I learned how to like, okay, if I'm doing a high scream, if I'm not screaming, but I get into how do I sing in a way that's high and metal, like the song Vanguards of the Dawn Wall, right? Or like
Yeah.
a Halford type of a thing. It's the same technique. I'm just now like saying more words and not just screaming one thing. But and I always paid attention to like what makes a singer sound the way that they do, you know, whether it's Michael Jackson or Neil Diamond or Billy Joel or Elton John or Bruce Dickinson. And so, you know, one of the things that I was very because I was like doing voices, like cartoon things and like just different accents and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So that always just interested me even as a kid. And so, you know, when I started getting to the point where it's like, okay, how can I sing more than one song like Iron Maiden without blowing my voice out where it hurts? And then I started practicing doing those sirens, like, oh, you know, without the yodel, without that click.
Which is where that I can't do that. I have that flip. I just don't have it. Like once I get to that head voice, there's this space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like around between B flat and like C sharp, there's nothing comes out. And then after that, I'm good. But like, so last night I did a gig where I played Cemetery Gates, and that first high note, I can't hit it. The second high note, yes. And the last high note, I hit. But that first one, I can't hit it. It's really
So he
weird.
goes, Gates,
Yeah.
Gates,
Right.
Yeah, that last one is really high.
It is. And for some reason, I could hit that fine, but the first one just did nothing but
just
air
sits
came
in
out.
that weird spot. Yeah. You know, a lot of the, so anyway, I ended up sacrificing a little bit of tone for technique. So like if you take, for example, a song like Moonchild, right?
Right.
Okay. A lot of like what Bruce Dickinson does so well is the ooh vowel and the E, right?
Okay.
So a lot of singers will try to cheat and go to like an A sound. Hear the mandrake scream. That's an E. Scream. They'll go scream. They'll go to the A.
Yeah.
And moon. See, it's that ooh, moon child. It sounds like I'm belting, but I'm not yelling like I would to the neighbor across the street.
Okay.
So it was practicing, okay, hear the mandrake scream, scream. And I would just, how do I develop my voice to do that? And okay, maybe it's, and of course you can go scream, scream, you know, like when you yawn, you know, you go, and your larynx, you know, you open your throat, you can change the sound of that E vowel, for example. So you can make it appear more full voice just by doing things like that.
And how did you figure? You just figured that out just by yourself, figuring?
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, and also like, you know, they say singing from the mask, right? Like so if you were to go, you can project. It becomes very nasally. That's nasally. Is not. So opera singers will project because they project a lot. They sing from their mask a lot, and I just was like, okay, how do I? And so I just taught myself, like by experimenting. You know, it's like, well, how do you know how to sing death vocals? A lot of people can't do that.
Right.
You know, and so it's like, ooh, how do you do that without hurting yourself? And so it is trial and error. I mean, ultimately, even if a teacher tries to teach you, at some point you're going to have to make the sound and see what that feels like. But, you know, then getting into the high stuff was like, I don't know. When I got into Crimson Glory, I didn't think I could sing that high. I can't sing that high now because I think I just kind of reconditioned my voice for the Queensryche thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so one of my goals is to get back to that stratosphere high like I had in Crimson Glory, which is way higher than anything I've ever sang in Queensryche.
Yeah,
And,
totally.
And it's like, okay.
But Red Sharks is ridiculous. I remember, that was one of my favorite. In fact, I think that is my favorite song by them.
Yeah, but I could sing songs now like Painted Skies probably better because I've developed a better, just a smoother, a better technique of like, okay, if I don't know if you know the song Painted Skies, but it's from Crimson Glory, but there's a part where he says, to a dream that always wanted to come true. It's to a dream. And it's that same thing we're talking about, that E vowel. Instead of doing it real chesty, it's just it's technique.
But it doesn't wear you out? Like that's interesting.
No, I mean, like usually when we do, I mean, if I feel fine, I'm not sick or whatever.
Right.
And we do like a 75-minute or a 90-minute set. Literally, I could sing for another hour, no problem. I mean, I know I could do. I could do a 3-hour Queensryche show. I know I can.
Wow.
But again, some of the really high stuff, like when I joined, my Queen of the Reich was like effortless. Yeah. Now I push it a lot harder, and it's just you're talking about. There's this something that doesn't connect. There's just something that is just not as accessible as before. But then there's times on a Queensryche tour where I've totally hit notes that higher than the Queen of the Reich effortlessly, and it's like, okay, it's not that I can't do it. My vocal cords can produce the sound. I just don't know how to access it on demand like before because I'm singing in a totally different way, the Queensryche material than the Crimson Glory stuff. Crimson Glory was more gritty and scratchy, and it's always been really hard for me to sing clean because I've always been a raspier singer anyway.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got that, but even that vibrato, like, you have that Bruce Dickinson thing. Obviously, I think at one point you were even considering doing an Iron Maiden tribute thing.
Dude, the first time I ever heard, can I play with madness? When I heard that, Bruce Dickinson's vibrato,
it's so ridiculous.
Something connected with me, and I was like, that's what I got to do that. And it was so magical sounding to me, but I've always had a good vibrato, but I love his vibrato, and that's kind of how I've developed a lot of my vibrato in the metal style was from Iron Maiden.
Now, if somebody tells you, because I was doing a studio session here in Nashville, and they were like, cut the vibrato, don't do it. And I was struggling to do that.
It's hard.
It's so hard.
You know what else is really hard? So yeah, there are times when it's like, hey, dial the whoa, it's too much. Like, dial it back a little. Right. What's really hard, and what I do a lot, is I ramp into a note, right?
Right.
Okay. To hit a note dead on, square in the face, out of the gate, is hard.
Yes.
Right. So like a lot of Eddie's stuff that he writes, like he wrote the song Light Years off of the last Queensryche record. It's light years and shadows. You'll never. I would go light. I would swoop into the note.
Right.
Light years. That's very unorthodox for me. So, he's always like, oh, don't ramp into the note. You're always doing that. Maybe go like that. I'm like, yeah, but that's just how I sing. And but that's something that I've learned to be like, hey, and I've actually did it on my solo record, in some parts where I do have to be very mindful of not scooping into the note. Now you do get a lot of character in that ramping up into a note. It's almost like when Hetfield ends on a word and he's got that kind of that thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's his thing.
Scooping into a note. It's almost like if you were like how Stevie Ray Vaughan would go he'll do that little back breaking thing.
Yep.
It's almost like, hey, don't do that. Just go ding, ding, ding,
Right.
ding. But that's where the flavor is
It
in
is.
that ding, right?
I agree. Yeah.
That's where the flavor is. So, but yeah, it forces you to pitch. It obviously, if you're ramping into something, it's like bending into a note. You have somewhere to go, and your ears can. Once you find it, you stop there. When you start right with a right into the note dead on, it's harder to pitch off of that. Oh, Pat Greek. I think that's my good buddy Pat from San Diego. Maybe he'll comment if it is.
Right.
If it is, then I'll say,
Nice.
Ticanis.
How much of this is just random because of what Susie just mentioned? How much of the band is still in Seattle? I know you're in Florida.
So Parker, Michael, and Eddie are in Seattle, and then I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida, and Casey lives in Tampa, which
he's
is
in Tampa,
like
okay.
he's about a 30-minute drive away from me.
Yeah, so you're also close to our bass player. You're pretty
Oh
close to Cher.
yeah. She's on the other coast. I'm actually, okay. So Pat's typing in Greek. Yeah. Right
Hilarious.
on. Yeah, he's one of my very dear friends. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, and so I live right on the Gulf side. She's Cher, I think, is on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the West Coast of Florida.
All right. So who is your favorite singer of all time? Is it Bruce?
I mean, he's certainly one of them, but I don't know. I think I have to maybe say Ronnie Dio.
Okay.
Because he just, I don't know, man, just his inflection. He had a really warm tone.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to say, I mean, he didn't have the most crazy range, but he sang high, and it didn't sound as high. Like if you hear, straight through the heart, that's high.
Yeah,
But
I mean, Rainbow in the Dark's high. I can't sing it. I can't do it in an original key. I just don't. It's not possible for me.
well, that's where the bridging happened. Do your demons. You don't have to do your demons. You don't have to push like you're screaming across the street.
Right.
But he had
right.
such a, he put in some nice little scales and some, he would do some endings of things that were really cool. And he just had such a passion in his delivery that I don't give a shit about all the high range and all to me, it's very overrated. I think character and passion is just 10 times more valuable.
I agree. Yeah. Well, and just singing to fit the song in the best possible way, whatever that happens to be.
Yeah.
And not just showing off for the sake of showing off, like Nitro or something.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I could care less about that stuff. But I mean, dude, you are uber talented. I've watched your piano, the live stream things. You do an insane Elton John, by the way.
Thanks.
You do that.
I think you've mentioned that to me before, yeah.
But you do, but your piano skills, your guitar playing, your bass playing, your key, your singing, like you're super well-rounded. And it's not like you're okay at just, at all of them. You're damn good at all of them.
Thanks, man. And
I mean, hats off to you, man, because I have immense respect for your talent.
Well, thanks.
You've forgotten more about. I mean, I don't read music. I just rely on my ears. So if you were like, oh, I always talk about me being a baritone. Like I pitch my voice higher when we're talking, but I normally talk down here. We've spoken, and my voice is deeper.
Right.
But if people say, oh, is that a C this or a D that or a B this? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I have no fucking idea. But
that's funny.
You're a kind of guy that can jump in on a session and go. I mean,
I've been really lucky this year, man. I don't, we'll talk about this stuff with you in a minute in terms of what you've been doing but I've been, some of my heroes have reached out to me to do recordings and sessions from my house. And I mean, I just did. In fact, when I get done here, I have to finish recording some piano stuff for Dave Ellefson because he's had me. All of a sudden, like we're writing partners, which is something I never thought in a million years would happen in my life. I'm sure that you never thought you would be singing in Queensryche in your life. Like that would
Yeah.
be your job. I don't. It's been an interesting ride for sure in the last few years. So, and thanks to all the nice comments that are floating in there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we're in a kind of a special club. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we are.
and
We're the coattail riders in the best possible way, though.
yeah, but you know what? I think but you're still but we both still create music too. So
yeah, that's true.
And that music stands on its own merit. So yeah, look, we play in bands that we weren't original members of, but we are flying the backdrop proudly of the bands that we're in.
Yes.
And people seem to appreciate what we have to offer. And that's all that, as long as you understand that,
yeah,
then the rest doesn't fucking matter. I'm not the original guy. I love the stuff that were on those first, particularly 5 Queensryche albums.
Yes.
Everything after that, didn't care about. And
I think that was across the board, though. I mean, sales reflected that, in terms of, and there was a lot of changes and things going on in music anyway.
Exactly. But I know what I'm capable of, and I always know there's room for improvement. Sure. But also, I do my own music, and I'm glad I got to put my solo record out. That shows people, more drumming, songwriting with Craig, and a whole nother spectrum of vocals that you'll never get to hear on a Queensryche record. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly what you said. So you brought back, you were talking about my vocals, and you do the same thing, or have done the same thing, where you kind of mimic the style or the vocalist that you're kind of, if you're doing covers and stuff. That's what I do in my show. That's why like kind of the Elton John thing falls naturally to me, because A, it's very much in my range, and B, I just listen exactly like you said for those vocal inflections.
Subtlety.
How does Billy Joel say that word, or how does Elton say that word, or sing that word, for example? Whatever.
And let's also say that there is an anatomical either advantage or disadvantage. So no matter how great somebody like, say, Michael Sweet is, okay?
Yeah.
He's never going to sound like Bruce Dickinson.
Right.
Bruce Dickinson would never sound like Michael Sweet, no matter how hard he tried. There are the bones in your face, your sinus cavity, your sinuses, right, your throat, everything that is your makeup. That's why I'm able to sound more closely to other people than, I'm never going to sound like Steve Perry. It's just not going to happen. Right. Now, I might know those little things, but it's just like voice impersonators, people that can sound just like another famous actor or someone, there are advantages that you play to those strengths. So yes, you have an anatomical makeup that is more favorable to that of, say, Elton John, and then you hone in on those subtleties and those little inflections and nuances that, like, it seemed to me you live your life. So when he says life, there's a tonal quality. There's a bunch of ways to sing the word life, but you focused on how is he making that vowel sound. Just like I said with the Bruce Dickinson thing. Right. A lot of people will not focus on the E or the oo sound. And then again, there are those anatomical things that can be very advantageous to you. Real quick, if you don't mind, Tyson, somebody says, Todd, are you contractually bound, or can you be hired for other people's recordings? I would say that I don't do work for hire. per se. I don't want to be a guy that just can be bought. Oh, we can pay Todd. I don't care if it's $20,000 to sing, fucking Mary Had a Little Lamb. I just, there's a fine line that I have, Tyson, and that we're all aware of not diluting the value of what we do. And so I don't want, even if it would be fun and cool, the only way that I do that is typically with people that I know, people that are already touring or are doing this in the business, and that we have a certain relationship. So to answer that guy's question, I have done a couple of things in my life that were work for hire things, but it wasn't a work for hire. It was people that I knew, and then they happened to pay me, but it wasn't because of the money.
Right.
So that's number one. And then Pat is saying, question for both of you. It's been just over a year since we are in, I guess that's Albuquerque, and the show was canceled. Obviously, it's been very tough for us fans. I can only imagine it must be tough for you guys professionally.
Shit, that was the one that we both were down there for. That we didn't get to play.
Oh yeah, was that was Albuquerque?
That was a year ago.
Shit, that was Albuquerque.
We were supposed to play in New Mexico, which was like Lorraine's hometown, and then we were going to play in Texas the next day.
That's right. Yeah, we were both playing shows together, and we flew home after Albuquerque because Texas.
That's when I was on that 8-hour layover or 10-hour layover that I was at, whatever it was.
How have you been dealing with the mentally the ups and downs and not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel? I mean, dude, it sucks. It's I love being home. I mean, I love being home. Like in that respect, I don't miss touring at all.
Agreed.
What I do miss is the camaraderie of the guys.
Yes.
I miss hanging with the guys. I do miss the chemistry we have on stage. It's always great when people are excited at the show, but touring and living out of suitcases and being gone from my wife and our dog and my mom and my sister and, your family, there's always another show, but your family isn't forever. People get old, people die. You miss holidays. It can be very, very lonely, even if you're surrounded by your best friends. Yeah. So for me, I've just tried to harness the feelings that I have, which, are I've always lived in kind of a dark headspace. And it's something that is not always easy for me, even in the best of circumstances. But I've just tried to harness it into the music, and I put a lot of that into that record.
In that record, yeah, for
sure.
And
then, we're writing new Queensryche stuff. So I'm pouring, I'm writing lyrics, and actually you and I are doing something that is, we haven't told anybody, but, we're working on a tune together. So I've got a ton of songs to write lyrics to, finish stuff that's not finished, just trying to juggle all of that and then still not earning an income from my main source of income, which is touring, same as you. And the only thing is I can't fucking play like you, so I can't do live streams like you.
Shit.
But, how have you been?
How have I been? I've been okay. Honestly, like I remember, like after that show that we did not end up doing.
Yeah.
It was a week prior to that. I had done my first live stream with a band here in Nashville, and I was like, "Oh, I can make money on this. Cool," because I made like $130. We played for 4 hours. It was with the band that I usually play with on Broadway here in Nashville. But this kid knew all about Twitch and Facebook Live and all this stuff, and he had all these cameras and computers. And basically, I did 2 shows with him, took notes, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And so that very first week when everything was shut down and you couldn't do anything at all, I decided I'm going to go on every night at midnight and just play for an hour or whatever. And it evolved and kept going. And then I got burned out because I was literally singing 7 nights a week, and I was like,
Dude, that's brutal.
So I cut the schedule down to not that many days, and started going on earlier in the evening, so I wasn't going to bed at like 4:30 in the morning or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just has evolved into what it is now. And so now, what I've discovered though on playing online is that there's this great community that you're seeing in the chat room right now.
Yeah.
Some people you know, but some people you don't know. A lot of friends. I've made a ton of new friends, and the funniest thing about these new friends, though, that's a lot of them. I have no idea what their real names are and what they look like at all. But I see them 4 nights a week hanging out when I do a show, and that's pretty awesome. And they come back, and I see them in other people's shows and chats on Twitch. It's just this completely different community.
Yeah.
Because I felt that at some point I'd outgrown the whole Facebook thing,
Right.
and I wasn't growing from there. So once I went over and made the commitment to be here in Twitch, it's just exponentially become a better show for me. I was able to do the show that I want to do,
Yeah.
which I like to play with backing tracks and stuff like that. Well, Facebook was shutting down my shows. Like I'd be in the second song, and suddenly, and the chat's like, "Uh-oh, what happened?" And I was like, "Oh shit, what happened?" And everything. And then I realized that we got shut down. And that's basically how I've made a living for a year, is just doing streaming shows, and it's been great. And somehow, by the generosity of the people that watch the shows, I've been able to feed my family and pay my bills for a year.
That's
I
amazing.
just did my taxes a couple days ago. Well, I'm finishing them up, and realized that somehow I managed to make almost the same amount of money that I was making when I was out playing shows and doing all that stuff. It's crazy to me that that's possible,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. And
Yeah, good for
I'm
you.
extremely, grateful and thankful to the communities of people that have been there for me for the last year.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. Somebody said,
What did you do? During this time? I mean, because you just said, that your income was from Queensrÿche when you're not touring. That was like your main source of income. So what do you do?
how do I earn income right now?
No, I mean, just like you had a whole year of not being able to tour. So how were you able to support yourself?
I've put money away from tours, and so I'm okay to where I was able to pay all my bills and do what I needed this whole year without working to earn more money. And so basically, I just been doing stuff around my house. I remodeled the kitchen here, fixing stuff that when you're gone 8-9 months out of the year, oh, this piece of wood trim is rotting, let me replace that. Oh, I want to do this, I'm going to do that. Just all those little odds and ends that you never get around to doing, right?
Right.
So kind of just doing that, and then honestly, dude, a lot of it was just like, a lot of it has been my record, because there was 4 months right there, starting when we got home, like March.
And you started working on that record years ago, did you not? Like it's been
I
something in the making for a while.
It's been in the making for a long time, but actually only one song made the record. So other old demo shit I had, like we just started everything from scratch, except for that's the only thing that stayed. But but between doing that and then shooting videos and then artwork and everything that goes into a record, we did that. And then a lot of it, dude, was just like, you know what? I've been busting my ass on the road year after year after year after year. I'm not fucking doing anything. I'm just gonna I'm gonna totally I'm going to bed at 4 a.m. I'm waking up whenever my eyes open. I'm gonna go to the park with take the dog to the park, and my wife and I do things, and just kind of just enjoying being present in the moment, and not what sucks is like, what really sucks about this, dude, and you totally will understand this. is trying to plan a vacation, right? With touring, you're like, oh, let's do this in July, and you're like, I don't know what our agent. Let me check, right? And they're like, well, we don't know yet. We have a few things in the works, and you're like, fuck, right? Okay, but so like, this is like the biggest downtime we've ever had, right?
Indeed.
And you can't fucking go anywhere. So it's like the one time where it's like, dude, I got a whole year. You can't go anywhere because of COVID. And so it's just like, dude, that's been like the most frustrating part for me is there's things that we want to do, but because of because of just the safety issues, it's not a good idea. So, it's definitely been psychologically challenging, but it's also been gratifying in many ways. Like I say, today I cleaned the Corvette, and I cooked food today, in the kitchen today, and then tomorrow I've got some things I got to do. My mom needs some stuff done around her house this week, so I'll get with her about some of those things. And doing Zoom stuff.
Exciting stuff.
Just no, you know what? Like, to me, like, that's normal stuff to everybody else, but to us, that's kind of like cool. I get to like build something at my house, or I don't know, just normal stuff is very pleasing.
Right. Yeah. I've enjoyed it too. I've been, when the parks finally open up, we can take the kids to the park, that kind of little stupid stuff. So, what was your first band that you ever were in, and what was it called?
The first band I ever joined was called Blackwell, and that was with Craig Blackwell, who did the record.
Yeah, nice.
And then
you were playing drums, right?
Yep. And I remember the first gig we ever had was this place called the Swamp Club down in Gulfport, and just this kind of little bar. I was like, I think I was 14 or 15, and they were like, hey, you can't, I was like, no, I'm just the drummer, like, I'm not, I'll drink a Coke, like, I don't, I was a kid, right? Yeah. So then I joined another band called Espionage, and
nice.
we did and then we played clubs around the Tampa Bay area. I was like 15, 16, maybe 17 ish.
All right.
And then right after high school, I joined another band called Infrared, and so Matt Buckner. I don't know if you know Matt Buckner. He's been in he was a big rep for like, I think Zildjian and Sabian, and then Fender,
gotcha.
And now I think he does something with Sennheiser mics. He's like,
nice.
But anyway, so I was in Infrared for many years doing all the local club scene. Yep. And then, I didn't make it, and that window passed.
Right.
And so, I played in like a cover band around here, doing a lot of like beach bar gigs, with hot rods, and playing Stevie Ray Vaughan and Natalie Imbruglia. And it was like just to keep my chops up.
Yeah,
I was singing backing vocals while I was drumming and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's the very first band I ever joined was Blackwell. And like my first gig, we played our high school talent show, and I was so nervous, and it was packed. I mean, it was 1,000 people in that auditorium. I mean, it was packed.
That's awesome.
And it was like, I was like, man, I want to do this. Like,
what did you play? What songs did you play? Were original songs?
No, we played Sweet Child of Mine.
Right.
We played, we did a couple talent shows, but we played that. We played Round and Round.
Nice.
We played the Ice Cream Man, Van Halen.
Oh, nice. All right.
And then another time we played like Little Fighter.
Nice.
You know that one?
Great solo in that one.
Oh yeah, we played.
He's a killer player, though. Obviously, as demonstrated on your record. So, I can
Yeah,
imagine
he's
even
a
then he
great
was a
player.
pretty good player.
But that's what I always, wanted to do. I still
Nice.
have stacks of Metal Edge magazine, dude, in my
Well,
garage.
so do I. I mean, in fact, it was pretty. It hit me in a weird way when I saw that Jerry Miller died. I was like, holy crap, because that woman was responsible for all these people that are behind me used to hang on my wall when I was a kid. Like I couldn't wait for the next issue to come out and rip out the picture of Vixen or whoever it was and put him on my wall.
Totally, yeah.
And now we're all playing with all these people. It's pretty awesome. So I can't complain.
Yeah.
I mean, even dudes in your band hung on my wall at some point in another. So.
On the wall or the ceiling?
Oh, ew. So were you? I mean, Tampa was huge for the death metal scene back in the day. Were you part of that at all, or were there bands in that genre that you would that you knew or you went to see and everything? Because so many great bands of that genre, like. That was the hotbed back in the day, if I remember correctly, in the '90s and stuff. Morbid Angel and Deicide and all that stuff.
I can remember walking in. There's this mall in Seminole called Gateway Mall. It used to be. It's not that anymore. And I remember like seeing Glenn Benton and like the Deicide guys walking through the mall. They were like teenagers,
That's weird.
And like we used to have a thing called was it 98 Rock then? I think it was 98 Rock, and there was a thing called The Pit. And at midnight, they would play Obituary, all that shit. Prong, Flotsam and Jetsam, but a lot of it was more geared toward death, the death scene. Yeah. And of course, Morris Sound, I've recorded, done stuff there. So I wasn't a huge death metal fan. There were moments where I would like listen to a lot of Obituary, and then I would listen to they're all from here, but
they're all from there.
Yeah, but I would listen to it in like spurts, but I was never like just a hardcore like death metal fan.
Right.
Maybe mainly because a lot of that was a lot of blast beats, which got boring to my ears.
Right.
And
it can be everything's like, there's no dynamic. Sometimes it's just like, that's kind of how I feel about the metalcore stuff. A lot of it right now is everything's always at 11 all the time. It's like, you need a little bit of, chill out for a minute and bring it back and kind of, that type of thing.
Do you know the band? It's I think it's actually pronounced Angelus Apatrida.
I do not.
Like Angelus Apatrida. Okay. That's okay. Zeus did their record, dude. They're fucking badass. They're a thrash. They're a thrash band, kind of a little bit of Megadeth-ish, certain little things. Killer guitar playing. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, do that.
Try to check them out. But I think you would dig it because it's musical, but it's still like heavy. But I know what you're talking about. A lot of stuff now is so, dude, it's just a lot of overplaying, and you don't hear like singers. And
right.
It's just
I miss singers. I definitely miss that in metal, especially.
Now everybody's like just screams, and it's like, you're not a singer. You're a vocalist.
Yes.
You are vocalizing, but and it's just like, you know what it reminds me of, dude? It reminds me of when the whole like Seattle sound kind of came, and I hated it when it happened. Right. I was just like, but you know what? It's so needed to happen.
Right. I agree.
I was thankful later, because it was like the LA glams, like all that shit was so regurgitated and formulated, and nothing sounded original anymore. It was so
right.
It was so boring at that point. Here comes Nirvana, which I never liked. Here comes, Alice in Chains, who I thought were awesome. Here comes, Soundgarden. There's just this different sound, right?
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. There's a rawness to it. There's a very organic, real like purity to it.
Yes.
Right now, I just feel like it's, everybody's tuned down so low. Everybody's screaming. There's a million beats per minute on the bass drums. It's just too much. And I feel like something has to like come in. Everything I'm hearing now is just like so boring. It's like, oh, that's so heavy. I'm like, is it? It's not even, it's not moving me anymore.
That's funny.
Some stuff does, but a lot of it is just like, dude, if you didn't know the singer, I wouldn't be able to distinguish half of these bands from each other. And even with the singer, if I don't know the vocals, I don't know the band, and I hear just I couldn't tell you that band sounds like 1,000 other bands out there.
Right.
That's what I miss about the older times when Van Halen came on. You knew it was Van Halen. Quiet Riot had their own sound. Guitar players, I mean, Eddie Van Halen, Stevie Ray Vaughan, all these, there was so many players that had an identifiable sound. Now everybody's shit sounds the same, and it's just,
it does. And they're all using the same kind of producers and plugins and all the things that basically, even the guitar tones and all of that is very, we sound like a bunch of old get off my lawn people now.
Well, but I think that there just needs to be more peaks and valleys and like have a journey. Right now, it just seems like everything is just, just like you said, it's on 11, and it's like, okay, I feel like I've heard your whole record after 2 songs. Like,
right, exactly.
There isn't anywhere else to go.
What was the first band? So you were saying the first band you sang in was Crimson Glory. I mean, how do you even figure out that how did that even happen? Because as a singer, you didn't even really identify with yourself as a singer, and then you jump into this band that has, a lot of really crazy vocals all over the place. And how did they go, yeah, okay, did you approach them, or did they approach you, or how did that even happen?
I'll try to give you the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll try to sum it up as concisely as I can. So my friend Matt Laporte, rest in peace, played with John Oliva's Pain.
Right. I was going to ask you about that later. But okay.
He was a very dear friend of mine. He worked at Seminole Music, a local music store. He used to give lessons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I went into the music store one day to get, I don't know, it was either guitar strings or sticks or something. I went in to get something, and I saw him there. And I said, he's like, hey, what's been going on? I was like, yeah, I'm thinking of maybe doing like a Maiden tribute band. But he's like, oh, drumming? I was like, nah, I think I'm going to give the singing thing a try. And he's like, really? And I said, yeah. He's like, you sing? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, I actually have, I have something. I'd like to hear what you can do. And I was like, all right. And so he gave me like this low quality kind of demo of just an idea, riff, chorus type thing. And he gave it to me. It's actually on YouTube. It's called The Welcome Experience. It's a super generic thing. And I wrote the lyrics and sang it and gave it back to him like a day later.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you sure, man? This has only been one day. And like, you better, I said, look, I'm not going to mind fuck this thing. This shows you I can write. This shows you my voice. Right. It is what it is. Like, whatever. And well, he heard it and he was like, dude, I'm blown away and I can't believe this. And I showed it to John Oliva. John was like, wow, who's this guy? And he's like, do you know who
Crimson? He's a great vocalist in his own right,
Oh, of course. He goes, do you know who Crimson Glory is? And I was like, no. He's like, he goes, I said, I've heard the name, but I don't know any of their music. He goes, are you fucking kidding me? They live right over the bridge. He says they live right over the bridge. They're in Sarasota. And I was like, I don't know who they are. He goes, just immerse yourself in Crimson Glory. That's all I can say. And I'm like, why? He's like, just do it. I was like, okay. So I remember putting on Queen of the Masquerade, and I was like, He goes, "Lady." I was like, I don't think I can hit that. And I remember like in my car, and I was like, okay, I just hit that note. Like it wasn't, it
That's
was,
hilarious.
you know, it was like, okay, what it wasn't, it was pretty good. And then another time it was like, and then it was like, okay. And I kind of worked it, and I studied every nook and cranny of those, of the first two records primarily.
Okay.
So their original singer, Midnight, passed away
Right.
in was it '09? I can't remember.
It was around that time.
Yeah. So they were doing a show in Atlanta, the Prog Power show.
Okay.
And that they had like 16 guest singers that were going to all join in, and two guys would sing Red Sharks, two guys would do this, two guys would do, okay. So I was at, so he basically, John Zahner, who played keys in Savatage and also did Crimson Glory stuff, called me one day and said, "Hey, Matt LaTorre told me to reach out to you. Would you like to come to a Crimson Glory rehearsal? He said that you can sing this stuff and maybe help out with our rehearsals." And I was like, okay. So I went, and Matt showed up, and you know, they were like, John Drenning, who was one of the guitar players, he was like, he's like, "Hey, good to meet you." I was like, "Yeah, cool. You know, nice to meet you." And he's like, "All right, so Matt says you're a big fan," and I was like, he's like, "You want to do Where Dragons Roll?" I'm like, "I don't know it." He's like, "How about Red Sharks?" I'm like, "I don't know it." He's like, "Dragon Lady?" I'm like, "I don't know." He goes, "Matt." He goes, "Matt, I thought you said this guy was a big fan." He's like, "Dude, he is. He loves your stuff." I said, "Listen, I didn't know your stuff. I've heard of the band name. Sorry. I've practiced a couple songs, you know, Queen of the Masquerade and In Dark Places." I said, I can help you with that. And then if you want me to do more, I can work on more. But, you know, I was just thrust into this, you know, not trying to step on anyone's toes here.
Right.
So I ended up, you know, okay. So the guy who was singing, who did Astronomica, his name's Wade Black.
Yep, I remember that record.
Okay, so so I did the one kind of thing, helped out, and they were like, you know, you come back tomorrow. I was like, yeah. Or no, I think I just did the one song. I can't remember. Anyway, I came back the next day, and he said, learn this and learn that. Okay. So Wade shows up, and I was like, oh, that's like their singer. Like, I hope he's not going to be pissed I'm here. Like, and so I was just role playing. I'll be the other singer, and we would just help the band rehearse. So when it came to In Dark Places, I remember, like, do you want to start? Do I start? He goes, "No, go ahead." I said, "Okay." And so I started singing the song. And then when it came to verse 2, I was looking over like, "Hey, dude, your turn." And he literally just was sitting on a weight bench, like with his head down, and never looked up.
Right.
And all I could, and I was like, and they're like, "Keep going." So I was like, okay. So I kept singing the song.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I think the band heard something special.
Right.
And it was like, okay, that just happened. And I felt really awkward. Like I didn't even want to.
Yeah, that is awkward.
And I was like, you know, "Hey, dude, you know, I'm just trying to help out. Like, I hope you're cool with me being here. Like, I don't have to come back if you don't want. Like, you know." He's like, no, it's cool. Blah, blah. I was like, all right. So they asked me to be one of the singers at the end of all these rehearsals. "Hey, would you like to join and be like one of the singers at the show?" I was like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah." So I did Mayday and the Dragon Lady with the guy from Brainstorm. Anyway, and I just fucking killed it. And after that, you know, and nobody knew who I was. There was no band name next to my name in parentheses. I was just like this unknown guy who just really was able to capture that essence and the spirit of what those vocals meant. And then the guitar player, you know, was like, "Hey, you know, you want to work on some songs?" And I was like, "You mean like write new ones?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And so we started working on stuff. And then he kind of told the guys like, "Dude, we we could have this guy in the band. We could go do a 25th anniversary tour. We could, and so, dude, honestly, like I just ended up joining the band that way. We went and did a 25th anniversary tour all in Europe.
Uh-huh.
And then did another tour. We were writing a concept record that never finished. And while I was in Crimson for like 3 years, I met Michael at NAMM. He saw some of my footage, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And
So let's talk about that for a minute, because the Wikipedia says it's this folklore tale of you meeting Wilton and mistaking him for Eric of Testament.
I totally did. Because I
You're
saw,
like, dude, great show last night. Wait,
because
who the fuck are you?
because they played the Grove. The Testament played the Grove the night before this Seymour Duncan thing.
I think I was there at that show, actually. I'm pretty sure I was there.
It was 2011, NAMM.
Yeah, I was there at that show.
Okay, so so Testament played, and so I was my buddy's +1 for this Seymour Duncan dinner party. I walk in, and there's Yngwie, 10 feet from me eating,
Right.
And there's Warren DeMartini, and there's
Nice.
Duff McKagan, and I was like, holy fuck, like this is legit,
Right.
There's Dino from Fear Factory, and like all these guys that I didn't know at the time.
Right.
So I saw Michael, and I'm like, I have a plate, and I'm getting like cheese and like deli meat or whatever. And I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, hey, and I'm like, great. It was like one of these, like, hey, what's up?
Right.
He's like, hey, and I'm like, yeah, great show last night. And I wasn't like looking at it. I was like, yeah, great show last night, because Michael's short, Eric Peterson's short.
Right.
I just and he looks and he goes, huh? And I look at him and I go, last night, I'm like, you at the Grove, and I go, dude, this is what I said to Michael. I go, dude, total brain fart. This is what I said to him, total brain fart. I'm really sorry. I do know who you are. And when I said that, I forgot his name was Michael Wilton, but I said to him, I do know who you are. You're in Queensryche. My mistake. I'm really sorry, man. He's like, no, that's cool.
How funny.
And we just started chatting.
Right.
I'm holding my food. I think he had a beer or like whatever. And I was starving. So I was like, listen, man, I'm famished. I'm going to go sit down. I said, if you want to continue the conversation, that'd be great. Why don't you just come sit with me and my buddy? No one will fuck with you. Nobody's going to bother you.
Right.
And he kind of, he stood there and he pondered. And then finally he just went, all right. And so he follows me back, and then we sat down and, for a good 45 minutes to an hour, exchanged some info. I come home from NAMM and I got 4 songs in my email, and,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it was nuts. 6 months later, I was in Queensryche.
Crazy. And at that point, was it Rising West, or was it Queensryche, or was all that?
Well, the Rising West thing happened, and Jeff was promoting a solo record.
Okay.
And Queensryche only had like a few shows still booked. I think M3 or Rocklahoma or something.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were like, hey, I got this idea. What if we did a side thing while, Queensryche's not doing anything, and then when Queensryche picks back up, we'll be back out with Queensryche, but we could do something with you, in the interim. I was like, wow, that'd be fucking amazing. Are you kidding me? And we'll do like old Queensryche stuff, like deep cuts and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I didn't know that there was turmoil going on.
I got you.
And so like we did 2 shows that were sold out in Seattle.
Okay.
And yeah, dude, I guess shit hit the fan. And the next thing I know, like, I'm fucking on billboard.com as the new singer of Queensryche.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then, dude, a ton of doors opened up, and it's dude, this what are we in March? March, April, May, June, July. In 4 months, I will have been in the band 9 years. and record number 4. So yeah, dude. I mean, it's been ridiculously awesome. It's been life changing.
Sure.
And I've met some amazing people, many amazing people that I never would have had a chance to meet. And
Who's
I've
somebody
made
that you met that you were just like, I can't believe I'm hanging out with this person, or even maybe more so gigging with somebody, you know, or jumping into whether it's a jam or something like that.
I mean, I'm never really like, I don't really usually get like that, but I remember the first, like we did a whole tour, North American tour with the Scorpions.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, it was like, 5 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time, like, I met the guys in the band, and then that was really awesome. And but I remember after that, like Klaus had somewhere to go, and his people were all around, and he happened to see me, and he was like, Todd, and he steps out of his path, comes over. I think he gave me a hug or whatever it was,
Right.
Or like being side stage and watching those songs that we know and love, and
Yeah.
Rudolph Schenker coming over to me, giving me a fist bump. I'm over with Peter, his tech. I'm standing like I could grab any guitar. I'm standing where his guitars are.
Right.
That's probably like the most where it's like, wow, I can't believe, like, I saw them at the Monsters of Rock tour in 80,
Right.
88, 89.
Right.
Whatever that was. Now, like, I'm on a first name basis with everybody in the band. It's fucking insane. Like having dinner, Matthias is on my left,
Yeah.
and Klaus is on my right, and we're all at dinner, a private dinner.
Right.
And we're just like just breaking.
I had a moment like that with Gary Sharon. We were doing some festival kind of like where you're just, or something. And I remember coming out of my trailer and seeing Gary, and I was like, "Hey, Gary," and he goes, "Oh, hey, Tyson." I was like, "Oh,
Like,
wait, you actually know me?" That's fucking weird.
That's great. Yeah.
I was such a huge Extreme fan as a kid, huge. So now, same thing with those guys. I'm first name basis with all of them, maybe except for Nuno. Nuno knows me, but probably doesn't. But yeah, that moment I was.
I've never spoken to any of them. I've gotten like what's kind of a nod from Nuno, but like we're not friends. I'm not friends with Gary. Like we've played shows together, and like I know who they are. They know I assume they know who I am. But regardless, like, yeah, there are those moments where you're like, wow, that's really cool because I grew up listening to them, and now they know I'm a peer of theirs too.
Exactly, and that's what's been the most surreal. My biggest one though was when Ellefson goes, "Hey, could you help me organize and get everything together for the rehearsals for the big All-Star Kiss Jam on the cruise?" Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I can." And then he sends me the list of the people that are on it, and I was like, "Okay." So I'm going to walk into this room and nobody knows who the fuck I am at all. And I'll be like, "Hi, so Scotty, and you're going to be on at this time, and Charlie, you're going to," like I walk into this room and my entire thrash metal childhood is sitting in this room, and I'm just like, I'm supposed to be in charge of these people? What the fuck?
Hey, some of these people need someone in charge.
Holy crap, that was intimidating. But you know what? You just put on the right hat and it's like Sylvester Stallone and over the top.
But you know what? There was
flip the hat around, let's go. And we did it, and it was great.
Yeah, but the thing is like a lot of them are still grounded. Some of them act like dicks, and some of them are like, they have this like ego and attitude, and like I'm not going to mention names, but I've been in a room with people that I've like, wow, like,
yeah,
same thing, and you're like, hey, good to meet you, blah blah blah. Don't even give me the time of day, and they know who I am.
Right.
They know, you know, they know my capabilities. They know the band I'm in, and don't even give me a shred, an ounce of acknowledgement.
Interesting.
And like the minute that happens, you're just like, wow, you're a fucking douchebag.
Sure.
And then I literally don't care about him anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But I've met so many that are like just so cool.
Right. In
You
fact,
know?
I think it's more on that side of things,
It
especially as
definitely
we've
is.
gotten older.
It totally is.
Yeah.
Because look, anybody that I'm rubbing shoulders with, they're not selling arenas anymore. They're not, you know, like, let's get real, you know, let's, you know, you've made amazing music. You're this, you're that, but like, you're not the big fish anymore.
Right.
You know, you don't have to like walk around with a chip on your shoulder.
Right.
Just, you know, but I mean, 99% of everybody I've ever met has been totally cool. But yeah, I mean, I have friends that I can't believe you know this person, or I can't believe you know that, and I get it, but it's, you become desensitized, right?
Yeah,
You know?
totally. Very
And
much
you're
so.
just like, you know, I mean, if you went through the contacts in your phones, or the contact in my phone, you know, you'd be like, holy shit, you know all these people. But when you do like so many festivals and you play shows, and you end up seeing
they're your buddies.
they're just become your friends, and like you connect with some
Right.
where you're like, dude, if we were both never in music, like we would totally be friends and hang, and it would
Absolutely.
be a real friendship.
Yeah.
You know, and to me that's, and you know what, like, dude, at, you know, I'm 47. I still wear, you know, Chuck Taylors and Vans and
Me too.
fucking shirts, and, you know,
We're
like,
the same age. I didn't realize that. That's fine.
okay. And, you know, it's like, I basically get to hang out with a bunch of grown kids that,
Yeah.
you know, are still headbanging and still thrashing and still into this kind of stuff, where, you know, it's like everybody else is, you know, in some cubicle,
Right.
hating their fucking life, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just super, it's a lot of fun. Like the festival circuit to me is like the most fun.
That's the best.
That's the best.
The best. Especially when you go to Europe and there's like 10,000 bands and they're all your friends. Just like, and you just go, let's go watch these dudes right now. Let's go and, you know, whatever. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
In fact,
absolutely.
I think me and Casey, your drummer, we watched somebody at one of those festivals together. I don't remember who it was now, but I knew Casey back when he was in Camelot because he did a drum clinic in Kansas City, and I met him there back along. But speaking of drums, you got to play drums on a Queensryche album, which is pretty, you know, that's a pretty cool accomplishment. Now, if you don't mind me asking, or
Sure.
if it's not weird, why you instead of Casey, who's the live drummer? I mean, and obviously we know why not Scott, but how did that
So at that point, I mean, I had done all the demos, the drums on all the demos.
Okay.
I knew all the songs.
That makes sense.
You know, there wasn't another drummer involved in the songwriting.
Okay.
You know, Casey was the touring guy. We were under the assumption that Scott was going to play on that.
Okay.
Well, when you're a no-show over and over, and you're expressing, you know, that you're not going to play on it, it was like, okay, do we get an outsider? Do we have Casey do it? He's never heard these songs before. And we're recording in like 2 weeks. Do we have, you know, it was like, you know, I already know him.
Right.
And
Right.
Zeus and Michael and Eddie just said, let's give Todd a try. And Zeus said, if he's not good on a click, if he can't do what needs to be done the best way, I'll tell him, and we will find somebody else.
Right. Okay.
Maybe that'll be Casey. But at the time we thought, look, it should be from the band itself, within the band, and we didn't have to dump that on Casey or anybody else. And so that was why I did it. And I'm very proud of the drumming I did on the record.
You should be. It's great. You did a great job.
You know, it totally was what the songs called for. And a lot of people really had good things to say about that. But I think on this next one, I completely believe that Casey will be tracking on it.
Nice.
And I think he deserves to, because he's dedicated every waking moment to Queensryche for nearly 4 years. I think next month will be 4 years, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm super stoked. I mean, we're doing a lot of songwriting. We've got, I think, 25 plus songs.
When you guys write, do you all get together, or how does that process go?
Well,
I mean, since you all don't live in the same city.
Yeah, well, normally we do it the way everybody else does it, with I'll send you this, you fucking track it and send it back and blah, blah, blah. And Zeus was like, I want everybody in a room. You can do the back and forth here and there, but I really think you guys need to be in a room. We're not pulling up old hard drives. We're doing everything new. And so Michael flew down, and then I told Zeus, hey, Mike's going to come down. We're going to work on stuff. He's like, well, fuck, I want to come too.
Yeah, where's Zeus at?
Massachusetts.
Okay.
I said, okay, come over. So he booked the flight, came down. Casey would drive over every day. And literally, me and Michael, and we would all work on guitar parts and arrangements and new ideas. And Casey would, you know, if he didn't show up and we were already working, I'd be laying some demo drum things down to get a vibe.
Is Parker part of that too?
Parker hasn't been able to come down yet because he's slammed with his guitar shop.
Oh, okay.
And so, but he has all the demos and everything, and I'm sure he's working on his own stuff too. Plus, with COVID, like Eddie didn't come down, but Eddie just got his vaccine.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I think Michael did too. So they're coming back down next month for another 10 days. And we're just gonna
do that at your house, at your studio.
Yep. And so we just dude, the stuff that we came up with on the fly, as you know, like okay, that little change would have taken a week at least, because I would have tracked it. We sent everybody. What do you think? I'll listen to it tonight. And yeah, okay, I listened to it. Yes. So are you talking about? Hey, dude, let me call you later. Fuck all that. We got that change done in 15 minutes.
Right.
And it was like, and the cool thing is, everybody for the most part is like, that works. And because Zeus is there, we're not manning the computer. He's on the computer.
Oh, nice. Even better.
And even better. And it's trimming off the fat of what would happen at pre-production later, where, okay, we've got all these songs. Now we're going to take the good ones, the maybes, and the that's not going to work, and that's a parts pile, right? And you say, okay, we're going to dissect these songs. There's no dissecting. Zeus is here in real time, and we're like, okay, I think this is a solid arrangement. It could change, but we've established this is the riff. This is the pre. This is the chorus. Here's a bridge or a middle 8 section. Here's a muso thing. Okay. So when he gets to finally hear it later down the road, he's been there from day one as the songs were being written.
Right.
And it's just going to make pre-production like so much easier.
Do you guys, I didn't have this as an original question, but it just kind of evolved into based on what you said. Do you feel any sort of pressure at all from like the old schoolers or whatever to try, like, because I mean, you guys have been around forever at this point. Queensryche as a band, has that, track record with, like you said, those first 5 records being so great of what they were or whatever. Do you, is that something that even is considered at all, or is it just like, we're just going to write what we write right now in the moment, and whatever it is, that's what
I think it's both. I mean, we are mindful of, okay, what made London so great? What made NM156 or what made Eyes of a Stranger or Jet City One? Like, what are those components? Okay, we need an open, wide canvas for a chorus. that
Right.
money chorus,
Right.
right? Where it's like, it doesn't need to be too many words. Think about like, Unchained, nothing stays the same. Unchained. That's it. That's the main, right? Or like, Jet City Woman. Then you have your answer call. Queensryche is notorious for that.
Yes.
Every song, right?
Right. Right.
And there's a main thing with a boom, 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 A, B, A, B, A, B in the chorus, right? So we are mindful of those things, but again, it's just like when Michael writes something, for example, it's just amazing how that sounds like Queensryche. How does he do that?
That's awesome. Yeah.
But as far as like pressure, dude, I mean, I think that the 3 records that I've been able to do with the band have blown away everything post Promised Land. And
sure.
So, Queensryche never wrote another Empire. Queensryche never wrote another Mind Crime album. They didn't outdo themselves with original members. Never mind less original members. So, I don't feel pressure that way. And at the 4th record, people can hear vocally what I can do. Now it's just about writing great songs. I don't need to hit stratosphere notes. I don't need to hit. We
just have to write kick-ass songs.
That's it.
Everybody's gonna love.
That's it. But there's still like stuff that goes back to, ooh, this could be off of The Warning, or this could be off of Rage, or this. Okay, this could be like an Empire album kind of a song, or so whatever we write, and whatever comes out, we'll end up. The best ones, in our opinion, will make the record, and that's pretty much it.
Do you go with how many songs would you say you guys demo before you start whittling away down to like, okay, it's gonna be this many songs or whatever?
20 or 20.
Is it really that many? Yeah, that's kind of the old school way of doing things. So I didn't know if bands still did it like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say 20. I've got on my computer right here. I've got a Queensryche 2021, and I open it, and there's
files.
There's a ton of songs. And what about you with like Vixen, or do you?
Well, that train is much slower.
You haven't been in Queensryche. It takes a while.
Oh goodness, man. I mean, it was to the point where our manager called me and goes, "Can you please write some songs, because nothing is happening?" So I did, and one of those songs turned out to be the one that you and I are working on, because it was a little too heavy for Vixen. So, or at least according to, I don't know, whoever it was. And so they declined it. So I was like, well, and Roxy loved it though. She's like, well, I still want to do something with this song. So that's when I called up Jimmy Bell, and because I wanted a really shreddy solo in the middle, which is exactly what I got.
I think I've heard that song.
I think you have. And so I just played everything on the original demo, and then I even played drums on it. And then
you played drums on that?
Yeah. On the initial, not the one that you have, but I'll send you the original one. I don't think you have the original one. Yeah. And then sent it to Roxy, and she loved it, and so she went and cut actual drums herself, which is the one that you have, the one I sent you. And then Dave Ellison's gonna play bass on it, and then so it just became this little side thing that would be really, exactly what you were explaining earlier, like friends of friends going, let's do something cool, and let's get our friends involved, and let's do it. So at this point, I think once you're done with your vocals, I'm gonna cut the keyboards again, and we'll be good, and we'll be ready to go.
Dude, I was just
I think Michael Wagner may end up mixing it. I'm not sure yet, but we're figuring that part out.
I was just talking to Zeus, and Jimmy Bell's name came up, And I was like, oh, I think I'm actually doing something with my buddy, and I think that guy's playing guitar on it.
Right.
He's like, dude, you know how every town had like that guy that
He was
should have.
that guy in
And I was like,
Massachusetts.
really? He goes, yeah. And I think that he was like the contender for like the Aussie gig or
He
something.
was. He was. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, are you fucking serious? And he's like, yeah. Um,
He said you guys had met in passing at some point,
he
but
well, I looked him up on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I've met this guy. He looks so familiar. But yeah, I guess he's just, I mean, the stuff that I heard, I was like, and then I watched some other stuff of him as well, and I was like, holy shit,
yeah,
this
it's
guy's got it.
ridiculous. And he's the nicest guy ever. He's a sweetheart. And his wife actually works with the vaccines. That's what she does. She gives people vaccines every day, and she's been doing it since they first came out. So anytime I have questions about vaccine stuff, I just hit up Mandy because she always has the actual answers and not stuff from,
Yeah,
the internet or whatever.
I've heard nothing but really good things about him, and hopefully I'll get to chat with him in person again, and like there's that better connection because, yeah, I mean I've watched his playing, and he kind of looks like a badass, doesn't he? Just
Yeah. And he's got a deep Purple tribute band too that he plays in. So that's another thing that he does outside of House of Lords. And then now he plays with Autograph too. So he's
oh,
been
that's
touring
right,
with them.
that's right. He plays
He
an
took
autograph.
Steve's spot in that band.
Yeah, right on. So what do you have going on as far as tour dates? Because I know that we're constantly we just had a business email today going over updated scheduling and stuff like that, and we still have
Right.
a handful of shows. I think they'll probably happen.
We start in June and we have about 1 to 3 dates each month for the rest of the year, just depending on the month.
That's good, right?
Yeah, it's great because last week I had a week. And one of the things that I realized in my own mind, I was like, I miss being on the road. I miss that more
Yeah.
than I thought I did.
Yeah.
I realized like it's that connection not only with the band but with the fans. And one of the coolest things about this whole Twitch thing and the streaming thing is, and I've been telling all the fans and all the people that watch me, is if I come to your town, if I'm coming to your city, hit me up. I'll hook you up. We're going to dinner. We're hanging out. I want to meet you guys. And the other thing that's been really cool about this whole thing is that people that tip me $20 or more, I say, send me your address. And I've been sending them a copy of my CD. And so as a result, I've played more original music this
Wow.
last year than I have in the last 8 years.
That's great.
So it's been really fun to actually go,
Yeah.
oh shit, I forgot I even wrote this song.
Oh, somebody asked earlier in the chat,
Yeah.
have you ever written a song? Hold on, let me scroll back.
Okay.
Somebody said, have you ever written a song that you wished that when you wrote it you were like, what was I thinking? I'm paraphrasing.
Sure.
No, I haven't. Have you ever written a song where you're like, what was that?
I have more from my like teenage years. I'll go back and listen to demos or stuff like that and go, okay, that song is really terrible. There's one song on my album that I'm not much of a fan of, but there's still people that like it. That it sometimes, and I'm sure you've had this experience before as a writer, where you go, okay, that sounded a lot different in my head than how it ended up.
Yes.
And you're just like,
that's
damn
happened.
it, I can't find that sound. I can't. So there's a song called Stranger on my record that I wrote at a coffee shop. I was sitting at a Denny's and this super hot girl was like at the table next to me. I'm like, oh my God. Like I couldn't stop looking at this person. And so I just wrote a song about her, like right there at Denny's, and I had this in my head, like I want this to be like this Roy Orbison kind of classic, that,
Yeah.
like that kind of beat and all that. So I did it, and it's still it's like too fucking heavy. I can't get that sound that I have in my head onto tape. Just I can't do it for whatever reason. And I think as a writer that happens sometimes. So
Yeah, that's happened to me where it's like, oh, I
I
totally
love the song. I just can't find the sound. It's just like Beth.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a song in your head, and you know exactly how, but you're when you're tracking it, you're laying the parts down. You're like, it's not translating how I hear it in my head, because in our heads, you know, because I'm not just a singer, right? Neither are you. You play everything.
Right.
I can play drums. I can track bass. I can play guitar. I can do vocals. I can do what I need to write the song.
Yes.
And then when I do that, I'm like, no, it's not. It's better in I hear it exactly in my head. How do I how do I translate that? Yeah. Well,
Tell me.
hopefully you'll be able to, you know, we'll get our vaccines soon and
Yeah.
be protected on that end. You were going to say something?
Yeah. No. I mean, well, shit. I mean, I had COVID in December, and
Oh,
then it's interesting. Like some of the antibodies info is coming out that it was originally like 3 to 4 months, and now they're saying it's more like 5 to 8 months. So I don't know, but and I've been doing gigs. I still do, you know, I still put on my mask when I go gig and all that stuff. But they have everything where there's here in Nashville, there's barriers in front of the stages so people can't get all up in your face and stuff. Which I wish they would have done that anyway.
what kind of a barrier?
just you know,
Like a barricade
like
or
poles and ropes,
okay,
basically
just
saying
stuff to stay back.
yeah, and bouncers going, okay, you can't be in here, that type of thing. Which
Gotcha.
they should do that anyway. But unfortunately, you know, I've been okay, but
That's good.
I'm really careful about all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
now, what I was going to ask you about is tell me about what is rock star and superstar.
Oh, dude, you're the first person to ask me something like that. So the Rockstar Superstar project. That's okay. So that was a guy that I met named Chris Kenkler. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's a really nice guy. His brother passed away. They were speaking about against addiction because I know that Chris was a really bad addict and drugs. And so they were going into schools and talking to kids, and it was like this whole grassroots thing. And he had Bob Kulick was producing it.
Oh wow!
So I played on a song with Bruce Kulick. And then Mark Slaughter. Initially, I think at that time he might have been having some vocal trouble, and so he laid down some leads. And then I was offered to replace the leads, so I did. But I think they kept his backing vocals, which sounded great. They were totally fine. I think I did a couple backing vocal tracks. And so yeah, I did a song called "Do It For You." I didn't write any of the lyrics or the melodies. They said, "Here's how we want you to do it."
Oh, okay.
But it put me on a compilation record with various artists. So that was like the first thing that I did outside of Crimson Glory when I was in Crimson Glory.
Okay.
Yeah. So Zach Stevens was on a song, and, you know, they had a bunch of different artists, but they had a lot of great endorsements. Like Paul Stanley was, you know,
wow.
They had some good photo op stuff and stuff helping to promote that. And, but yeah, that was one of the first things that I ever got to do as a springboard from the Crimson Glory name, which is not that big of a name in the United States particularly, but nevertheless.
Yeah, because that video, I don't know where it must have been from the European stuff, where they were screaming every single lyric to every song.
That's in Greece, and that's how the Greeks do it.
That dude, I know. I mean, when we played, we haven't played Greece, but when we played in Germany, I thought we were at a goddamn soccer game. Like, it was insane. They were jumping up and down. It was so much fun.
In Greece, it's exponentially more. It's like in South America. You know, that whole thing. Okay, in Greece, they sing all the guitar melodies. You know, like when we do "Eyes of a Stranger," where it goes.
Yeah,
They
they're singing
go,
all of it.
oh, it's dude, it'll give you
It's so
goosebumps.
surreal. Yeah.
So yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Greece is my favorite place outside of where I live. I love it more than where I live. But
Yeah.
that's where my wife's from. That's where my in-laws live.
I've never been there. I would love to go there. One of my favorite records, this is super nerdy, but one of my favorite records of all time was Yanni's Live at the Acropolis album that he did. And that when that came out in the 90s, I was like, I want to know more about Greece. That sounds really badass. So I started reading up on it and everything, and just the history and the architecture and all that stuff just sounds incredible.
It's really cool. You know, I mean, my wife, when we go there, I remember walking down, I don't know, down near the Acropolis, and we're holding hands walking down these old cobblestone roads that they're fucking ancient. And she's like,
Yeah.
just think like Socrates might have walked
Right. That's so weird.
It's really awesome. And it's one of the, I think it's Chinese, Mandarin or something in Greek is kind of one of the only languages that are still alive that have been around that long. They speak modern Greek, not ancient Greek, although there are some small pockets, I think, where they still can speak ancient Greek. But it's a language that I'm trying to learn. In fact, Pat, the guy who's commenting here, and I know who Edivos is. I'm not going to mention who that is, but I think I know who that is. But trying to learn the language is very difficult. But I'm still working at it, and it's funny because now I'll see stamatiste. I'll see words in English,
right?
And I'll say that's a Greek word. Even if I don't know the actual Greek word, I can tell when I read it. I know that the origin is probably Greek or Latin, but and most of the time I'm right now. So because so much of our language comes from that, and medical terminology and these kinds of things, they come from Greek words.
Right.
But you should totally go there, dude. And if you can,
I'd love to.
And if you could see a show there, I mean, it would just blow your mind. But yeah, you played in Germany. Germany's great. Most of Europe in general,
right?
When it comes
especially for our music,
I mean, they still wear, dude, at these festivals, they still wear spandex and jeans with, with all the patches and the old school Nikes with the tongue that sticks up out of your shin. But it's great, man. They're very passionate about the music over there, and it's see, I can read Greek. See where it says Pat Greek? Can you see in the chat?
Yeah.
He's saying bravo, Todd.
That's awesome that you can read that.
That's what he's writing in Greek. Bravo, Todd. Anyway, so yeah, it's awesome, and when I've done a lot of touring throughout Europe, extensive touring throughout Europe. And then, you come over here, like with my solo stuff.
Right.
I know that I could get on a billing, even if it's not a great slot. I know that I could get on a billing in Europe.
Right.
On a big stage in front of 10 to 30,000 people. I will never get that on my solo material in the United States. It's not going to happen.
Right.
And that's what I think. What I wish the U.S. had was, I guess you still have Rocklahoma, and like we played Carolina Rebellion, and but they're not even remotely close to the metal festivals in Europe. It's like it's so apples and oranges, and that's that's what I wish people in America could really see. If we took one of those big festivals like Wacken or Grass Pop,
yes,
and had an event one time over here to show the U.S. what it really is like,
right?
And then if it went away, they would be like, wow, this doesn't even compare to what I just got to witness.
Have you done like Rock on the Range or any of those kinds of things here in the States?
We've done, so there's a thing called, I think it's called Rockfest USA or something. It's in Wisconsin, and that's probably like,
Yeah, I did something like that. The Will Rock Fest. Yeah.
that's probably like 30,000 people.
Right.
We've done, M3. I don't know how many people that holds. You've done that.
Yeah.
We did Rocklahoma. That was, I guess, for the U.S. We did, what's it called? Rockville in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Manson headlined it, and Slayer.
Oh,
And,
wow.
that was, I don't know. That was a lot of people. But if you've played Vakken before, I mean, when we
Right.
played it, I think there was probably 80,000 people.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. When we did Grass Pop, the total running on that was for the weekend at least was 150,000.
yeah.
So,
I mean,
and
we
it was
played
sold out
inside
all
the,
3 days. It was
yeah.
insane.
Well, Vakken sells out before, they sell
bet.
out in 48 hours, I think.
Yeah.
But we played Grass Pop once. It was in the tent, which was still awesome because
Yeah, the tent. I watched Exodus in the tent. And it was incredible.
yeah, I mean, well, we had a daytime slot. It was like 4 or 5 p.m. and we wouldn't have had the lights. Like, it wouldn't have given you that dramatic, what lighting does. And
Right.
and being in the tent, it was fucking packed.
Right.
And and you had all the great lighting, so it just made the show. I was like, I don't care that we're in the tent.
Yeah.
But we did play, we played Bloodstock in the UK. We've done a smaller one, which is still awesome, called Bang Your Head.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
That's a
Yeah.
really fun one.
In fact, Vixen's played that one before, not with me, but they have played that one.
Okay. Yeah, that one's fun. We've done Rock of Ages. We've done Rock Hard, which is awesome. That's set up where it's like old school. It's like curved like this, and it's very steep, and the stage is set low, and all the concrete. It's like the Parthenon or something. I mean,
cool.
it's set up like where the steps are like that.
Yeah.
And it's just so you can see everybody like a wall when you're performing.
That's
Instead
cool.
of it being long and deep, it goes up, and they're all around. And that we've done that a few times, and that's great. But I think just the energy, and when you roll up in the tour bus to a festival grounds, there's just an excitement that is hard to explain. Well, it's not hard to explain because the people that go to those shows, they feel that same excitement when they get their pass and they go in and they see the big stages with the jumbo,
Yeah.
We played
sure.
Hellfest in France. I mean, there's a gazillion great festivals in Europe. In the US, it's like there's a handful, and
There's
that's
like
it.
20 at the most.
Yeah.
Maybe,
and
if that.
and it's not, you're not, I mean, it's harder to see like Vixen and then, Opeth.
Right.
And then, like you're never going to, in the US, you're never going to do that, but over there, as you get to do that.
Yeah.
There's Cradle of Filth, Vixen.
Yeah, I saw Cradle of Filth for the first time on one of those festivals, and I was like, holy shit, this is okay. I'm finally getting to see this band that I've been watching on videos for years, and they were so good.
Yeah, they have a lot of pyro, and they're fun to watch. And but nevertheless, that's I know what you mean. You miss the camaraderie, and look, the girls in the band are sweethearts. I love being around all you guys, and I hope to see you guys really soon. It's been a difficult year, and I knew we were the first business to close, and we're the last ones to open.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
bands still roll through here. It's not like they're not like on tour. It's more like one-off stuff.
Yep.
And people are like, "Well, why aren't you playing?" And I'm like, "I don't feel comfortable playing right now. Like we're really close,
Right.
but not yet. I mean, I know we're booked for Sturgis,
Okay. Oh, wow.
and it's like, okay, that was a massive super spreader before,
Last
right?
year, yeah.
But we have, I believe, we have our own private trailers. not at a hotel where everybody's at. We're off site.
Okay.
So we're private, and I have one. Everybody in the band has their own. You can shower, bathroom, the whole 9 yards. And we said, okay, we'll do it. We got to have away from everybody.
Right.
So
that's cool.
That will make me feel better. And so yeah.
So my buddy Bry, he says, if you had to pick one track off the new album, what was your favorite song to record off of your album?
Oh, that's a tough one. My favorite one to record. I don't really have a favorite, but I mean, One by One was one of my favorites because that was the gutturals.
Yeah.
You know, it was something different. I remember
you called me and go, did you like that song? Fuck yeah, I like that song.
You know, so that one was probably one of my favorites just because it was something different.
Right.
You know, yeah, I'll throw that one out there for now. Crossroads to Insanity was another really fun one to record.
It looked like a fun video to also film from that one.
It was a lot of fun, and we actually have more videos that we're shooting.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that because a lot of times a band will put a record out, then they'll put out a couple lyric videos.
Yeah.
They'll put out a couple performance videos or whatever, and then that's it.
Right.
But Joe at Rat Pack is like, you know, we're gonna do 3 more, or you know,
wow.
I was like, no shit. He's like, yeah, let's do. And I said, look, I want to run this through the whole year. I don't want it like the record to just come out and
disappear in a few months.
And disappear. Like, yeah. Let's keep working it. So that's what I think is also missing is like you put the record out, it's been hyped with the campaign. As soon as it's released, maybe there's one more video, and then that's a wrap. And you're like,
that's kind of what happened with our live record, honestly. You know, we put out the one video, and we should have made a video for our down version of Edge of a Broken Heart. I thought that would have been, you know, good for them, but
yeah. Well, in for argument's sake, a live record is different than.
That's true.
It's not. True. They're not the same. I mean, I love live records, but you know, they're not brand new songs that nobody's ever heard. It's, you know, yeah. I love live records though.
Yeah, me too. I like hearing, oh, what are they going to do for that ending that they usually fade out on the record? You know, how do they?
Right. Yeah. How do you get out of that? Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Well, like, let's see. I'm trying to think. Edge of a Broken Heart. I know how you end it live. How does it end on the record?
Fade out. Yeah,
it's a fade out.
You know, when Janet sings, I've been living on the edge of a broken heart, and then it starts to fade out right after that one.
Right. Okay, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, I know how you guys get out of it live.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love like the old Prince live stuff and the Earth, Wind and Fire, because they would always just come up with these crazy awesome endings that you know aren't on their records or whatever, and also just different arrangements, live arrangements that are fun. You know, stabs or breaks or things like that are cool.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Medic said, are there any sleeper songs that you've written by this? I mean, like a song that has gained more meaning as time passes or realized truer meaning later?
Off my solo record, I guess.
I think that's pretty general.
Or just in general?
Anything. Yeah.
So say that again. Was there a song?
It says, are there any sleeper songs that you've written by this? I mean, a song that has gained more and more meaning as time passes.
Not for me, because I know the meaning when I write it. So I'm fully engaged in it right at the onset. Now, so the meaning won't change, but the sweetness could change because of some musicality. Around it, there could be an ambient synth pad that's creating this color that's very dark, or you know, so something in the musical part of it might just hit that one note or that chord that took that piece and just made it sound even more huge or more sad.
Right.
But from a meaningful perspective, not for me. I mean, I think that would be a better question back to her. As a listener of music, like maybe, you listen to something and maybe it didn't really grab you, and then you learned to love it. And then maybe you associate that with a life experience, and now it's become very
Right.
impacting on you.
For sure.
And then somebody's asking if there's any songs that I hate. There's a lot of songs I hate. I can't stand I love rock and roll, but that song drives me nuts. What song do you not like?
Pretty much, well, most anything that like I can't do Holla Back Girl. My God, I can't do pretty much anything that Fergie's recorded on. Like My Humps and shit like that. Just
Right.
Come on. No, I can't do it. Nope, can't do it. What is your favorite Queensryche record before you were before you were in the band and since you've been in the band?
The Warning and The Warning.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I love the records that I've been a part of.
Yes.
But it's a different experience when you are creating the record than when again, I was in my teens, and
Right.
the Warning to me is my favorite Queensryche album for probably a gazillion reasons. Let's see, what does this say? Where is the love? Oh, that's a funny
We
one.
talked about that. Tell me about Discordia and working with Glenn Drover.
Yeah, so he reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in working on some music together, and I said sure. In fact, he was Matt LaPorte's Matt LaPorte loved Glenn Drover's playing. He was just blown away. I mean, he would flip out if he was alive today to know that I've become
That's awesome.
good friends with him and his brother Sean, and yeah, so he gave me the music, and I wrote all the lyrics and melodies to that song, and we recorded it, and it was a lot of fun to do. He's a great guitar player, great songwriter. So yeah, and then it ended up making it on a record that he put out about a year ago, maybe.
Oh, really? Okay. So
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
called
realize it was that recent.
Walls of Blood was
Wow.
yeah. It's called Walls of Blood, and he's got like Nils Rue from Pagan's Mind on it. He's got various guests on the record, and
Sure.
he decided to include that track on the record. So yeah.
What about Dark Matter? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Dark Matter is a band from Jeff Lords, who's the bassist for Crimson Glory. Dude, this guy is so good, it will make your head spin. He's just, god damn, he's so good. And that's a band that's kind of like, I mean, the vocals are kind of brutal, but that he's got melody in there too.
Okay.
So he'll do some singing in there too. I don't know how you would. It's just metal, but I don't know what you. It's not like power metal or, it's. There's some grooves that are kind of like Pantera-ish, but it's still. I don't know. You just have to check it out. Yeah, the band's called Dark Matter, but it's the bass player from Crimson Glory, Jeff Lords. That's a band that he formed in the Sarasota area, right across the Skyway Bridge from me.
Nice.
So yeah, they're a really great band.
And I just had a couple more for you, and then I'll
Yeah.
let you get back to life. I saw you jump up with Metal Church on the Mega Cruise, and which was awesome. But tell me about how that collaboration came about. So you actually did a studio cut with them, right? Or redid that song with them, or something like that.
Yeah. So Joe was, putting out Metal Church Records, and Rat Pack does. And he called and said something about, would you be interested in doing like a duet type thing if that could be possible? And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, fuck yes, right? And so he actually like ran some songs by me, and I was like, honestly, I want to do something off Blessing in Disguise. That's the record that he came out on. And so I said, what about Fake Healer, or The Spell Can't Be Broken, or something like that? And so he did like an email introduction to me and Mike Howe, and
Mike's great, man. What a nice guy.
He is a super sweet guy. And so they decided on Fake Healer, and I was like, awesome. So I said to Mike, I said, well, what do you want to record, and what do you want me to record? He goes, whatever you want. And I said, well, no, it's your song. Like, tell me what parts you want me to sing on. Like, I'll do whatever you want. And he goes, I said, but it's your song. He goes, well, it's our song now. So what do you want to do? And I was like, holy crap. And so, I said, you know what? Why don't I sing the whole thing? And then we have everything. And then whenever we want to mute parts, like we can have total flexibility.
Right.
I said, okay. Now, Craig Blackwell did the leads on that song.
Oh, he did? Nice.
And he did the other rhythm alongside Kurt. And then Craig, they sent the files to Craig, and he mixed and mastered that song.
Okay.
So,
very cool.
Yeah. So, then I flew to Washington. Mike picked me up from the airport, and in a rental, and we drove to Aberdeen together.
I played Aberdeen we opened up for Whitesnake. Did you go to the Star Wars place in Aberdeen? Because it's amazing. If you didn't go, it's
no. I was just there to like work and do the shoot. So we went there and did the shoot, and I was like, wow, I can't believe because they've never done that before.
Right.
They never had another singer record with them like that, like a duo.
Yeah.
That was like history making.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, do I have it? Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second.
Mick, what are you doing, man? How are you doing?
So here's the jacket, because I have a bunch of cool clothes, and I said to Mike,
hilarious.
So this is the jacket that he wore in the video.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like your stage clothes,
Right.
And this is the jacket that he wore in the video.
Nice.
And and then I said to Jeff Plate, I was like, hey, can you do me a favor? He said, what's that? I said, can I get the head off that snare from the shoot that you played on, and maybe have everybody? So he said, yeah. So they signed the Fake Healer video shoot. They all wrote something cool and signed it, and that's in my studio.
Nice.
So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and I'm beyond forever grateful to everyone in the band for letting me do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So how did you come up with Rejoice in the Suffering? How did that become the name of the record?
Well, that was the first song, the title track that we wrote. And a lot of that had to do with my dad's death.
Okay.
So that title kind of is spawned from that subject matter in that song. And then when we had all the songs together, I kept saying, originally we were going to call it Open the Gates, because there was a time where we were playing and Scott was sound checking on his drums, and he was hitting, and they were going through some things, and he's like, are the gates open? He's like, open the gate.
Oh.
and that stuck in my head, and I was like, open the gates. Okay, I gotta write. And I went I wrote it on my phone, typed it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I went, Okay, open the gates. This could be your mind, like let all the demons out of your mind.
Sure.
Open the gates. Or this could be just like no holds barred, or the record could sound so powerful, like open the gate, like
Right.
nothing, no suppression. And in fact, the beginning of One by One, it's just kind of this musical piece. In hindsight, I wish I would have indexed it and called that Open the Gates as a little mini musical thing segue into One by One. But I didn't do that. We just said, we'll make that the intro. But I still kind of wish that we would have done that. It was going to be called Open the Gates, the record.
Okay.
But I loved Rejoice in the Suffering. There's a certain thing to the way that sounds.
It does, yeah.
And it's like, what does that mean? Is that like an oxymoron? Is that a dichotomy there? What's going on? What does that mean? It's intriguing. It sounds cool. And then I said, I'm going to call the record Rejoice in the Suffering. Like, that's what I'm going to call it. And then when it came time for the artwork, my wife was the one who introduced to me to the Ouroboros symbol and was kind of teaching me all about it, because I had seen it, but I didn't really know the history behind it. And so she started like going on and kind of tying it thematically into
It's
different.
badass. It's perfect. It looks great.
Thanks. So my friend Kaz drew that in my kitchen. He hand drew that with pencil. In fact, it's a little bit bigger than an album.
Okay.
So that when we scanned it, it would already be, you'd have to shrink it a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, so she came up with that, and it could represent a lot of different things, like the suffering that people have gone through before us. We now are the beneficiaries of those struggles, whether it's civil rights. There's a lot of different areas where that could pertain. And there's different songs and subject matter where you could still find a parallel with that album title. But yeah, that's where it came from. And
why does it now? This is kind of a weird question, but you said you had a collaborator with you on the record. How did that? I mean, I don't know. I guess being that it's a solo record of yours, essentially, but you guys wrote together. How did that not just become just a separate? How did it become this is a Todd record as opposed to just another band or side project or something like that?
Because I was going to do a solo record anyway.
Right.
And
are you guys going to tour?
And my name. I'm hoping to do shows on it. Yeah, I mean, a tour.
Well, yeah,
maybe a regional thing up the East Coast. Would be cool to do. I'd love to go to Europe and do 4 or 5 big festivals, and then a couple club dates and come home. But Queensryche is always going to be number one.
Sure.
I'm never going to have time to tour that in any capacity. And my name is bigger than a brand new band name.
Right. You're right.
And I wanted it to just be my name, even though a band name would be cool to do.
Right.
I just thought, but it isn't a band. It's 2 people.
Right.
It's just 2 people wrote and recorded everything.
Okay.
And it was always going to be my solo record. And then I wanted him to co-write with me and be a part of it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with you from the beginning, literally.
Well, I keep saying that this is the record that we always wanted to make in our 20s.
Nice. All right. Right on.
So we got to do that.
So is he involved in anything else outside of working with you that is noteworthy, I guess, or something that people could find? Because obviously he's a great writer and guitar player. The solos and stuff on that are fantastic.
He did some work with Circle to Circle on a record. He co-produced it, and I think he wrote one song, co-wrote a song, or I can't remember if it was a co-write or what, but he was a part writer on a song and did play on one song on one of their records. I think he actually did something on guitar with Mandy Moore. Do you remember her?
Yeah,
She was
absolutely.
like a pop.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? I think Jason Hook had that touring gig for a while.
Oh, okay.
He talks about it in that in the Hired Guns movie. I don't know if you've seen that movie or not, but it's really interesting for people like me and guys that aren't in the pictures of the band, but we still are on stage and stuff like that. And Jason played for Mandy for a while before he ended up in the Millions. Five Finger Death Punch is his current gig.
Yeah.
But before that, he was with Alice Cooper, and he'd played for all kinds of different people, Bullet Boys too. But I don't think he puts that on his resume.
But yeah, I mean, he did some. I remember he showed me a recording he did. But anyway,
Nice.
And then he had a solo record out called Chromonic, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's all arpeggios and crazy shit, but that's probably 20 years ago, I think, maybe. But he's looking to. I'm really hoping, Tyson, that this will open up avenues, like doors for him, where somebody can be like, hey, do you want to do a solo on this song?
Right.
Sure. That's what I want. I want this to open doors and get him in some other situations where people can utilize his abilities to make the songs better. So if you ever are in a situation or somebody, he's a. And what I like is he is fresh to this scene in on a global scale.
Yes.
People know him around here, but he's one of those guys that gets it. He speaks the same language we do. He's a teddy bear of a guy. He's just he's got a great heart, and I'm hoping that people can. This is the biggest thing that he's done on this kind of a scale. But he's written, house music, dubstep, jazz, blues, like a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of stuff he's written. But he's new to the world,
Right.
They're just learning about who he is, and he's gotten a ton of. Just so many great positive feedback for what he's been able to do on the record, and I think I'm more happy for him than I am for me, because I've got to do this now with Queensryche a few times, and I'm loving that people are finding out about him, and like I say, hopefully somebody will want to hit him up and somebody worthy,
Sure.
and get him.
How can people find him?
He has an artist page on Facebook. I think it's Craig Blackwell Artist.
Okay.
And I think he just got his website domain back, so he's working on putting up a new site. I don't know if I'm not on Instagram or any of that. I know he's on Twitter, I'm probably one of the few people that's not on Instagram.
Right.
I just keep rebelling against it. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. So it is.
What about you? What's the best way for people to find, obviously, the record and all the things that you've got coming up, and what's coming up for you next?
Okay. So, I have just a couple social media things on Facebook. I have an artist page. It's Todd LaTorre. It's either Todd LaTorre official or official Todd LaTorre. I can't remember, but I'm on there.
Okay.
Same thing with Twitter. Queensryche's writing a new record, and so that's exciting. Hopefully, we'll be in the studio late this year and have something out. I'm hoping like maybe the first few months of next year, so that we can start to tour properly on it. Okay. And then I do have a website. It's toddlatorre.com. It's a brand new site that we built a couple months ago. It's a great site. There's merch on there. There's all the videos that I've ever done, different collaborations. Like I played drums on Jason Bieler's new album.
Oh, did you? Yeah, dude, that's a great fucking record. I
Yeah.
didn't realize you were playing drums on that.
Well, on the song Apology, I think he might have had some other guests. I played drums on more songs, but those didn't, for whatever reason, he didn't put those songs on the record.
He's great though.
He's such a cool guy. He's a good friend. I love that guy.
He's one of my favorite guys on Facebook too. His posts.
Oh, it's so funny.
Incredible.
He's so witty.
So witty.
Super witty. And but anyway, so I have merch available if somebody wants to buy. I mean, if digitally, yeah, you can buy the record on Amazon. It's also on all the streaming platforms that I do not subscribe to. But if they do, it's on there. And then if you want the record, you can go to Rat Pack Records, and then also
that's just for clarification, that's Rat and then PAK, not CK.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. And then on my website, on my merch, if you click the shop tab, I've got T-shirts. I've got certain bundles that you didn't get through the label, like an album, a signed album flat. On the other side, it's a photo that's also signed, so it's double-sided with different images on each side. I've got cool custom pick sets, album signature picks. I've got masks and CDs. We even make cassettes. So if you are like a collector that digs cassettes, we sell cassettes. So you can check my site and Rat Pack for the physical product. Digital, like I say, Amazon and all that stuff.
All this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you being here. We went long. Sorry to keep you forever, but
No,
I
it's
always
all
love
good.
chatting with you.
Dude, we're just two friends hanging out. It's all good.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll give you a buzz this week.
Okay.
And we'll catch up outside of here.
Did you ever call Roxy back?
No.
Damn it, she's gonna be mad at me. You better do
She
that.
shouldn't be mad at you. She'll be mad at me.
She probably forgot already.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone in the chats. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're healthy and safe, and you're kicking ass doing all your live streaming stuff, and yeah, good for you, man. It's you found a way to make it through this time, and so I'm very happy for you for that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, buddy.
We will catch up soon. I'm gonna jump. I'll kick you off of the Zoom here, and I'm gonna keep chatting with these guys for a little bit.
Then I'll give you a buzz tomorrow, maybe tomorrow evening or the next day.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right, brother.
Thank
Tyson,
you.
see you, my friend.
See you later, man.
All right, I'll let you kick me out.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
The 8th at 8 p.m. Central Time. Only here on twitch.tv/Tyson Leslie Music. Let's Talk with Tyson Leslie welcomes another alumni of the Big Four of thrash metal. Charlie Benante of the band Anthrax will be here to talk about all things Anthrax and more. And speaking of more, a very special guest will be joining him. Our friend Carla Harvey of the Butcher Babies will also be on the show with Charlie. So tune in next weekend on Sunday the 14th to see exclusively an interview you won't see anywhere else. Charlie of Anthrax and Carla of the Butcher Babies. Only on Let's Talk with Tyson Leslie here on twitch.tv.
That was pretty cool, yeah? You guys have fun? You enjoy it? I can't get my other... All right, so I'm kind of feeling like... I don't know. Should we play some music, or should we... What are you guys feeling? I had a good time. I love that guy. He's one of my good friends. Like, I can't say that about everybody that I've had on, but a lot of them I've been really fortunate that have, like, Troy, from Tesla, and obviously Britt, because I play in a band with her. And Dave, Dave's been, like I mentioned before, we're actually writing music together now, which is crazy. In fact, the next thing I have to do is write some work on some music for Dave. Yes, let's shout out all the streamer friends that are here. Who's here that are streamers? Because it went by so fast that it was kind of hard to keep track of everybody. But thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I had a blast. It was really cool. Let's see if I can get... Good. All right. So I know I saw Matt, and who else came in here? Roxy. Keep me updated, because I did see Matt, and I saw Roop in the house, which was awesome. I don't think I've seen Roop on the show yet at all, so it was good to see him hanging out. And who else was here? Keep me up. Oh, from Out of TV. Yeah. And Young Gun. That was awesome to see him. I don't know who's still here or who's not, but yeah, dude, he's a good guy. He's obviously a great singer. He's one of my favorite singers out there right now. So make sure you guys check all that stuff out and follow all that and everything. And I am going to, let's see. I'll play a little bit. I'm not going to play super late because I do have to do the recording. And, oh, nice. All right. But let me hit you with, I'm going to play you something real quick here before I get back into, and I'll get everything set up to play a little bit. So let's do this. Oh, whoops. Todd song. I'm going to play the whole video for you guys of one of the new songs off his record because it's so badass. And then let's make sure that is where it needs to be. Hang on just a second. I'm doing a little bit of fit to screen. And then I will be right back while I kind of get, excuse me, my voice is going out a little bit here. I'll be right back. I'm going to flip the room, make sure we're ready to go, and I'll play a little bit. If you guys are up for that, cool. If you're not, thanks for hanging out and have a great night. And let's see if this works. I'll be right back.
The outcast, that is with the trail that only few can see. Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Don Angel. How are you guys? All right, here we go. Here I am. I'm back in the pit. And check. Can you guys hear me okay? So here's what we're going to do. My talk camera's not working for some reason. So let me turn. I got to turn one microphone off real quick. There. Now it's just. Now the room mic's gone. Got me. Headbanging is good. That's what we want. All right. So let me put this here in this other screen so I can see the chat better. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up the queue for a little bit. Let's get about, 30 minutes worth of songs in there. So queue is open for just a bit. And so while I'm going to grab my phone, and while I do that, I want you guys to fill up the queue with a few songs. We're only going to leave it open for a couple minutes. So if you know how it works, here's the song list. Oh, somebody already beat me to it. There you go. So jump in there. Let me turn that off so it's not doing that. Jump in there and pick a song or whatever. And we'll kind of get things going. I got to plug in a couple things. Make sure that they're working. I still don't know why this on camera's not working. That's annoying. It was working like a little while ago, and now it's not. So let me see if I can get it woken up. Wake up, camera. Come on. Nope. Still not. Nothing. All right. Fine. Be that way. All right. I'll be right back. Hang tight. Oh, request. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure it's actually on. I will make sure it is on. Oh, weird. It should be open. Let's look. Oh, hold on. I'm turning it on. All right. It's on now. Go ahead. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, wow. Interesting choice. Bry. I like it. I don't think I've ever played that one before. At least on the stream. Hi, Abraham. Abraham came in right at the end. Well, you came in at a good time, though, because Abraham was watching the girls. He's sweet like that, you know. All right, I'm going to turn up my headphones because I can't. I want it nice and loud. Oh, goodness. Medic's trying to kill me. All right, everything's on. Except that one camera. That one camera. Seth. All right, let's make sure all the sounds are on and happening. We can turn that on now. I turned all those sounds off when we were talking, so they're not like going crazy during the stream. So everything should be on its way back on. So we got some Kiss coming up. Awesome. Some Cinderella. So it looks like we're gonna hang out in the 80s for a bit. That is fine with me. I did do that Cinderella song a while back. I had to cheat a little bit to make it work because I can't sing as high as Tom Kiefer, but we'll do it. We'll do it. It was fun. I'm gonna make sure all the sounds are back on. Where was Brad tonight? That was weird. What's Brad up to? He seems. That seems like tonight seems like something he wouldn't have missed normally. but he must have been busy being a dad or something like that. What was your favorite part about tonight, about the interview? What did Todd bring up that you thought was that you identified with the most, I guess, or whatever? While I fix these settings really quick. Boom. All right, that one's on. And somebody hit me with like I don't know. There we go. There's the sounds. Did you guys hear that sound, or am I the only one that heard that? And Brian, thank you for that, buddy. Much appreciated. Boom. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad y'all made it. Next week, Charlie Benante from Anthrax. A week from today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous about that one. A little bit. Because I don't know Charlie like I know a lot of the guests that I've had so far are like my actual friends. And Charlie, he's kind of new to me. So, all right. Now, let's see if the sound works. Yeah, exactly, Medic. He is a down-to-earth guy. Absolutely. All the way. All right. I'm missing an iPad, but we can get through it. Let's do Some Tears Are Falling. We did this one on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and Priya from Diamonds sang it, and it was awesome. She did amazing. I think it was me. I was on bass. Priya was on lead vocals. I think Roxy from Vixen played drums on it. I'd have to go back and actually look and see who all played on it, but it was really cool. Yeah, Jerry Miller was a big one for anybody who is a Metal Edge magazine fan. So I'm gonna do this down a step. All right, let's see how this goes. Wish me luck. Oh, did that work? Did the metal hands work? I didn't see them. Oh, there they are. Follow Bubblegum Saint. And now it's ready. Roxy. That was fun. Nice. All right, what just happened? Holy crap. Les coming in. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I thought I was going to work with, I was hoping to work with our friend Silly Rabbit on that today, but I ran out of time and he ran out of time. We just have time to fix the alerts, unfortunately. But this time I can hear them, so at least I can see that things are happening. So thank you. Thanks, Les. Thank you, Roxy. And thanks, Bri. So we'll get that figured out, but not right now. We're going to fix it out in the middle of the stream. Debbie, thank you so much. All right, what's next? Let me look. Boom. Les wants to burn down the house. Let's do that. And, dude, holy crap. Why didn't that one show up in the... Thanks, Bri. Voice is a little crispy. You are, dude, amazing. Oh, it's hype train time. Holy shit. That's why that's happening. Nice. Hype train going on, ladies and gentlemen. Make it happen. Let's get to level 5. Level 2 is complete already. Thanks to Bri and Abraham and everybody. Debbie. Thank you, guys. All right, let's do some burning down the house real quick. This one's for Les. You guys can't hear the bell, but I hear you. I got you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Let's burn it. Let it burn, ladies and gentlemen. Abraham coming in hot. Holy crap. Thank you, dude.
Watch out!
You make you watch your raptor.
Cool, baby!
Strange but not a stranger. I'm ordinary guy.
Burning down the house!
Yeah, look at you guys.
Hold tight!
Wait till all the things that happened just now. That was incredible. Final level. Keep the hype train going until the clock runs out. We got 50 seconds, 49, 48. We're almost there. Yes, 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 indeed. Holy crap, you guys. Awesome. All right. Let's do this. Let's do the Soundgarden first, and then we'll knock out the other. All right. That's kind of my plan right now. Let me get this camera set real quick, so we know what we're looking at. Oh yeah, that looks good. And let's get it going. Awesome. You guys are awesome. 4 o'clock. Holy crap, man. Set. Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, let's do some Soundgarden real quick, show. Whoa, that's not the sound I want. That's not it either. Do you guys want to watch this recording thing? I may do that here in a little bit. We've collected all level 5 emotes. That means that was a success. Fantastic. Thank you so much. You guys are the best. And are we moving? Is things happening? Let's find out. Boom. Oh, weird. Why is that camera freaking out? That's strange. There's the drum room. Camera 1. Camera 2. There we go. Now it's staying. That was weird. All right. Let's get to it. Jeez. How did I forget how to play the song? In my eyes, indisposed, in disguise, no one knows. On the face lies the snake, and the sun in my distress, boiling me, another stench, need the black, the sky looks dead, call my name through the breeze, and I hear you scream again. The black old sun, won't you come, wash away the rain. Black old sun, won't you come, won't you come, won't you come. Stuttering, cold and damp, still the warm wind tie up frame. Times are gone, we're on to spend. Sometimes far too long to stay. In my shoes, walk asleep. In my youth, I pray to keep sending away. No one sings like you anymore. The black old sun, won't you come, wash away the rain. Black old sun, won't you come, won't you come. Black old sun, won't you come, wash away the rain. Black old sun, won't you come, won't you come. Black old sun, won't you come. Black old sun, black old sun. Black gold sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black gold sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black gold sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black gold sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Black gold sun, black gold sun, won't you come? Black gold sun, black gold sun, won't you come? There you go. Little Soundgarden from Mick. Thank you, my friend. I forgot. That camera's not working right now. Oh, thanks, Krieger Seth. Abraham, Debbie, Murdoch, Mick, Murdoch, Mick, Plain O'Brien, Les. Thank you guys so much. Unbelievable. Holy crap. 19 gifted subs and 1,800 bits. Thank you so very, very much. For supporting the show and coming back and being awesome, because you are awesome. All right. Oh, wow. Let's see if I remember this one, Bri. It's been a minute since I've heard this song. I don't know if I've ever actually played it. We're about to find out. Ugh. My phone. I'm gonna have to do a little how did that song go real quick? So give me a second. I just need a very slight refresher course on that one. Gosh, I can't even tell you the last time I heard this song. I remember I was really a fan of the live Ozzy album that came out back in the day. Dude, Les, look at you. Oh yeah, okay. I remember now. Thank you, buddy. Look at you guys, man. Yesterday is been and gone. Tomorrow I will find the sun. No, will it rain? Everybody's having fun. Except me, I'm the only one. I live in shame. I say goodbye to romance, yeah. Goodbye to friends. I tell you, goodbye to all the past. I guess that we'll meet in the end. I've been the king, I've been the clown. Broken wings can't hold me down. I'm free again. The jester with the broken crown. Won't be me this time around to love in vain. I say goodbye to romance, yeah. remember this bridge for anything. And I'll have cheers. Goodbye to friends and romance to all of you. So I'll leave you, come on. I said goodbye to romance, yeah. Goodbye to friends. I tell you, goodbye to all the best. I guess then we'll meet in the end. I got you, Les. What a great song, dude. I totally just I don't even remember in any way, shape, or form when I heard that song last, and I'm so glad I'm gonna go listen to that when I get done. Because damn, I forgot how good that song was. I totally forgot. So I can turn the virtual camera off. Thanks, guys. All right, let me see what's next in the queue. So we did that one. Okay. Thanks, the kid. Zalo? Is that how you say that? Zalo? Thanks for the follow. Okay, let's do some Cinderella. Let's rock it out. Somebody save me. Was it that one? I forgot already. I already forgot. Oh, it's Shake Me. Same thing. Same album. Different song. They both kind of sound similar, though. Just saying. They do. They really do. Let me check one thing. I'll be right back. I'm trying to fix this damn camera. It's bugging me. It's guitar time. Dude, Kiefer is cool. You know, here's the thing about Tom Kiefer that a lot of people don't realize. Most of those solos on that record were him. I didn't know that until I saw him play live, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay, look at you." Why do I keep wanting to play that song? Shit. I keep going for the wrong song. Alright, yeah. Here we go. You guys get to hear me sing like a. I'll probably sound like a chipmunk trying to sing this song. Don't judge me. Yay, I got it working now. Didn't end it like the record. Oh well. It's still cool. What's up with my metal hands not working? I gotta fix that shit. Damn it. Colorado Keys in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow the Colorado Keys because they are followable. They are sexy. They're fabulous. Have you guys started doing your shows yet? I know, metal hands. Refunding points. I got some work to do. I don't know. Let's find out if all these things are working. Roxy, you want to try out some of these channel points things and see if they're happening? Here's the thing. I had to upgrade. Oh, because I put them in manually just now. I upgraded Touch Portal, but I was having some issues with it earlier, and it wasn't connecting and all kinds of stuff. So try out a couple things, see if they work. And the sound bits are playing now. Weird. Hey! That's happening. But what's not happening are like cheers and the subs and all that. None of those sounds are working. Yeah, Satan didn't work either. Well, balls. I got it. All right, I'm gonna have to fix it. I upgraded. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I updated the. You know how software says, "Hey, do you want to update the software?" So I did, and now none of my channel point stuff are working. So guys, don't redeem any of the animation stuff, which means stuff like funny dogs, Satan, all that stuff. Yeah, don't do that. I will give you your points back. I'll just put them on there manually. There's Beavis. You did? See, I didn't see that either. So, yeah, just put it in the chat if there's something you want to see. I'll put it in there. All right. Somebody want? All right, let's do it. Shit, why not? Why not? It's 11 o'clock. We'll go to 11:30, and then I gotta record these songs. All right. What was the other one? Oh, this one. Sorry, I gotta type really slow. My shit is not connected to the internet. Man, I'm just a mess today. Sorry, guys. Colorado Keys, doing your first show? Is that what you're saying? On Wednesday? Evenings Empire, how are you? Balls, there isn't one for that one. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. All right, let's see if this one comes up here. Nope. Oh, well, maybe. Let's see what happens here. This could be bad, or it could be really kick-ass. We're about to find out. Somebody save me. We'll do a double shot of Kiss blah, blah, Cinderella. Okay? Somebody save me. Lyrics, because I don't know the words to any songs in the world. I just know how to play them. Folks, I don't know how to remember words. Your voice sounds like, yeah, well, it's all right. I did a dueling piano show earlier this afternoon, which was weird. It was a last minute deal. I got called, like literally I woke up at 10:30 and like at 10:31 one of my friends was texting me, guys, "Hey, can you show up today at 11?" I'm like, "No, I live fucking 45 minutes away. No." But I need somebody to fill in because the guy didn't show up. So I'm like, okay.
Hello,
fine.
motherfucker.
Hello, motherfucker. So I drove down to Nashville and played a dueling piano show for like 6 people. Nobody was there, but whatever. It was fun. It's fun to see your friends, you know? That's
Somebody save me. Save me. Somebody save me. I'm going down for the last time. Save me. Save me.
Yeah, Cinderella. Double shot of Cinderella. That was fun. Yay for fun songs. All right. Chat is kicking ass right now. And my camera works now. Check it out. I don't know why these cameras sometimes like to. Dude, if I did a spin right here, everything would just go, just like fall and. Holy shit. Colorado Keys with the gifted sub. Thank you, friends. All right. Very cool. Thank you very much. I'm excited. What time are you guys streaming on Wednesday? I usually do. Oh, here's another thing I need to tell you guys about. I just picked up a regular Monday gig. So for the foreseeable future, I won't be streaming on Mondays for a little while. I don't know how long that's going to be, but oh shit. Yeah, I know. It sucks. I mean, it's good for me, I guess, but here's the thing. I don't want to keep stealing from you. I feel like. What is happening? Les! No, I know. Bryce says I suck. I'm going to play sad songs for the rest of the night. I will be, if you're in Nashville for the moment, I'll be playing at the stage on the rooftop. If I ever move back to KC. Funny. So yeah, it's I was like hoping it would be at a different time, but I will be playing Monday nights at the stage from 8 p.m. until 12:30, which is, so yeah, the Metal Mondays thing was fun. I felt like it was kind of caught on, but not really, but kind of, I don't know, it was weird. So when I can, yeah, we will or maybe, we'll do specialized metal streams throughout I don't know, we'll figure. Nitro Tuesdays. Gaten, thank you, friend. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. We're not, or maybe I'll add a day. I don't know. I got to figure out all this stuff. It just literally happened today. I was like, oh shit. Okay, fine. But the truth of the matter is, if I go out and play Broadway, the minimum I'll make just for showing up is $100. So, and then we get tips on top of that. So, I can, in any given night on a Monday, it's probably going to average about around $250, $300 a night. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, you got to take work when you can get it. And just like you just said there, Colorado Keys. When you got it and it's coming in, take advantage of it, especially since we're moving. Moving is expensive, y'all. It's expensive. Do metal in the house. How are you, friend? So, yeah. So that's happening. I am doing, I still do Mellow Mushroom on Saturdays if you happen to be in Nashville from 2 to 6. I'll be doing that for about 3 or 4 more weeks, and then that'll be done. So, because I'm just filling in for the regular dude that sings in that band while he's partying down in Florida, getting naked with the tourists down there. So that's just kind of what's happening. That is the news as I know it right now. I know. But I'll still be doing streams on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, of course. So, and, when I move, I may end up doing some daytime streams as well. I'm just, it's all kind of up in the air. Everything in my life at the moment is kind of up there. And it's like, we're just kind of waiting for certain things to fall, right? But am I gonna stream me moving? That would be really fucking boring. This is me in a really big ass truck driving all the way back to Kansas City, which for 9 hours. Well, actually, in a moving truck, it's gonna probably be more like 12 to 14 hours. That's gonna fucking take forever. Not excited about that at all. But you know, one of the things that I am excited about with moving is that I've got a ton of friends that I'll be able to kind of be like, hey, come over and jam, you know. And one of my best friends in the world, his name's Go-Go Ray, and we'll get him over here playing this kit. You'll love that dude. He's an incredible drummer. And yeah, well, you know, things are gonna change, but not necessarily in a bad way, if that makes sense. Music Zone 420. That'll put you in the zone if you are 420'd enough. Thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Usually stream late. I do. Oh, Colorado Keys. Hilarious. You'll get there. How many followers do you have right now? Tell me this. How many followers do you have? We have 30 people watching. I need all 30 of you motherfuckers. I say that in the most endearing sort of way. Go hit up Colorado Keys right now. Give them a follow because they're brand new to Twitch, like literally like brand new. Make that happen. And let's do a song for Abraham, and we got one for Les coming up, the Les special. Oh wow. And we have looks like a Faith No More song. Awesome. And Monty Python and some Beatles. Great. Love it. Medic, I'm not, you were 43? Okay. Wait, 7 more. I'm confused. What's happening? What are we talking about? All right, good. We lost 2 people while we were talking about all that shit. All right, let's turn the page. Here we go. Thanks, Medic, for doing that. On Lonesome Highway, east of Omaha, listen to the engine, born out of a song about the woman, the girl that knew the night before. If that's soon they want the way they always do. When you're riding 16 hours, press cars in the house. Riding, Swiss trips through. Hi, Priska, how are you doing? Did you stream tonight? Here I am. Or maybe she's not here, I don't know. On the road again. Here I am. Up on the stage. Thank you, Colorado Keys. Here I go. Playing the song again. Here I go. To turn the page. Nashville is about 9 hours from Kansas City. You walk into the restaurant, strung out from the road, when you feel the eyes upon you, shaking off the cold. You pretend it does not bother you, but you just walk too slow. Most times you talk, and other times you can't. Same cliches. Is that a woman or a man? And you always seem outnumbered, but you dare don't make a stand. Is it working better now? the road again. Here I am, up on the stage. Here I go, playing the star again. Here I go, turn the page. Yeah, but the bit rate is like really, really low. Does it look like shit? Out there in the spotlight, you're a million miles away, and every ounce of energy you try and give away, like the music that you play. Later in the evening, now in bed, the echoes on the album burning in your head. You smoke the dead last cigarette, remembering what you said. Here I am, on the road again. Here I am, up on stage. Here I go, playing the star again. Here I go, turn the page. Here I am, on the road again. Here I go, on the stage. Here I am, playing the star again. There I go. There I go. Turn the page. Oh no. I know, I see it. I see it. It's coming up. I'm glad that didn't happen during the interview. Oh my goodness. Is we may have to. Yeah. Let's see here. What can I do to fix that? I don't know why that happens randomly. It just seems so random. So flush your DNS. Music Zone 420, tell me about that. What do I got to do? How do I do that? I don't even know how to do that. Yeah, I know. It's weird. It just kind of happens. Hey! Hi, Kenny. How are you, buddy? Yeah, this sounds good, but I can see so I don't know, all you OBS people, the little light on the bottom that usually says, or it's like green, is turning red and then yellow and then red and then back to green and then red, and it's not good. That's why we're buffering like crazy. And I have it set on Kenny, you got any ideas? Shout out, the Jukesters are in the house. Colorado Keys, have you watched Kenny's show yet? It's a good one to watch for sure. They're Kenny is, and the Jukesters is Kenny and his friend Tommy. Hold on, let me fix this. And they're out of New York, and they do a dual show where they're together, and then Kenny's prog rock jukebox is just him by himself playing really cool prog rock songs. So if you're following both of those, make sure you're doing that. And I think, but the Colorado Keys friends, check that out. I think, yay, everybody. Yay for Kenny. I'm giving you the claps. I'm giving you the fried bacon claps. Because here, that one's better. Yay. Well, congrats on that, buddy. That's awesome. Very, very cool. All right. So, well, I'm sorry the stream's acting wonky. I'm glad that, like I said, I'm glad we got through it. You did the whole album? That's fantastic. It is. It's still my kilobytes per second are still at 5,000, which it should be at like 50,000. It should be a lot more than that. I don't know what's going on with it, but that's weird. It just started happening too, so that's fun. I don't know if I could get through that whole record. I'd have to learn a couple of those, I'm guessing. I don't know. Never tried. Speaking of the Beatles, that was weird timing because I have to do a Beatles song for Mick. So let's do that real quick. It goes like this. Yes, Kenny's Prog Rock Jukebox. Say that 5 times fast. Great show indeed. Yeah, all right, good. I'm glad you've seen that. Okay, good. Well, let's see what happens. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Thank you, 443. In my hour of darkness, she's standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, well, there will be an answer, let it be. Okay. But though they may be parted, there is still a chance we can see. There will be an answer. Let it be. Sing it. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Hi Keith, how are you, buddy? Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Hi Be Live, how are ya? When the night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow. Say hi to Wendy. Let it be. I wake up to the sounds of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Well, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. Ah, let it be. Let it be. Ah, let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Rockstar Angel, when did you sneak in here? How long have you been hanging out? It's good to see you. Again, long time no see. I saw you like, I don't know, what was it? 3 hours ago or something. Watching the Rudy Sarzo interview on the Metal Social Sunday. I was surprised Britt didn't come hang out here for the Todd LaTorre interview. I figured he would have been hanging out for that. He may show up later. You never know. Yes, lots of friends in the house right now that you should go follow if you're not following already. Yeah. Kenny and Kenny's new channel, The Jukesters. Keith James is in the house. Rockstar Angel is exactly as it's as described. She's a rock star and she's an angel all at the same time. Who else is here, you guys? Streamer-wise, that is. Colorado Keys, of course. We've, yeah. So go follow all of these people because they're awesome and they're good-looking and they sing really well. And speaking of rock stars, Plain O'Brien in the house, throwing the gifted sub to the Miss Angel. All right. So we did that one. You know what? 4:43. Let me look at something here. Let's do a couple of those because they're fun. Thanks, buddy. You're the best. I'm trying to remember the melody of this song. Some things in life are really bad. Some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad. Other things just we're chewing on life's gristle. Don't grumble, give it a whistle. And this will help things turn out for the best. Always look on the bright side of life. I can't whistle. You guys have to whistle. Always look on the bright side of life. Life seems jolly rotten. There's something you've forgotten. And that's to laugh, smile, and dance and sing. Feeling in the dumps. Don't be so silly, chumps. Just brush your lips and whistle. That's the thing. Said, always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. Monty Python. Here's my, you know what my favorite Monty Python song is? This one. Sit on my face and tell me that you love me. I'll sit in your face and tell you I love you too. I love to hear you oralize when I'm between your thighs. You blow me away. Sit on my face and let my lips embrace you. I'll sit in your face and tell you I truly. Life will be fine when we're both 69 if we sit on our faces and all sorts of places until we're blown away. Thank you, Kenny, because I knew I was gonna fuck that song up. Oh, this one. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. I cut down trees, I eat my lunch, I go to the lavatory. On Wednesdays I go shopping, have buttered scones for tea. He cuts down trees, he eats his lunch, he goes to the lavatory. Wednesdays he's go shopping, has buttered scones for tea. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day. I cut down trees, I skip and jump. I like to press wildflowers. I put on women's clothing and hang around in bars. He cuts down, he skips and jumps. He likes to press wildflowers. He puts on women's clothing and hangs around in bars. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and work all day. I cut down trees, I wear high heels, suspenders and bright vinegary, just like my dear papa. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. He cuts down trees, he wears high heels, suspenders, and a bra. He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. He's a lumberjack and works all day. Ah, he's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. That's it. That's all I got. Sorry I fucked up the first song. That's why I did more to holy crap. Yes, Raid. Welcome, Raiders. How are you guys doing? Good to see everybody. Retro Job. Boom. Welcome, Raiders. How you guys doing? How was your stream and all of those things? What did you guys do tonight? Thank you for the raid. Thanks for coming in. Coming in hot. Abigail 5K. Thank you for the follow. All right. I got to do... if you want, there you go.
Hello,
Pick a
motherfucker.
song. We'll throw it right to the top. Krieger said. Let's do this one. Since I just saw it. Ninja Gated. Holy crap. I haven't played that song since I was a wee lad. No, it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Tomorrow seems to me, girl, you know I done all I can. See, I beg, stole, and I borrow. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's why I'm easy. Oh. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I'm easy, I'm easy like Sunday morning. I've been working, but I put chains on me. You know, I pay my dues to make it. Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I gotta fake it. Oh yeah, ooh, that's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm easy. Like Sunday morning, I wanna be high, so high. I wanna be free to know the things I do alright. I wanna be free, just me. I'm at 0 kilobytes. That's bad. Ooh, I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I'm easy.